Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I wanted to give you guys a Saturday update on this week, what we have experienced in the courtroom. I had the opportunity of being in the courtroom, the main courtroom, every day this week, and I'm going to give you guys my personal intake, my take, not intake, my take on everything. And also, I want to discuss something in regard to Mr. Steele, where no other content creator could ever tell you or anything like that. I spent 2 years with Mr. Steele inside the courtroom, not only inside the courtroom, but also on a personal one-on-one basis, because they were sharing the media room in the beginning with me, and I was the only one in that room. So I got a chance to get to know each um, defense attorney on a personal basis. Okay. So I'm not just a Steele or Westmoreland fan because I'm just a fan. No, it's because I got to learn, got to know some of the not, I can't say intimate, some personal things on about them that gravitated me to them and them gravitating to them to me. So I'm just gonna pat myself on the back because nobody else on any platform could tell you anything about that except me. Um, and I'm going to tell you the type of person Mr. Steele is. Without further ado, let me just bring my co-host with me, JC. Good morning, JC.
Good morning, Miss Sylvia. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? And I'm sorry for waking you up. And look, I was like, get on here. You want to do something this morning? She's
That's
like,
okay. I
time.
was actually already up, so I've
Oh,
been up
okay.
for a while. Had my coffee and everything. So nope, you came right on time. That's fine.
Okay.
You know I'm always willing to help you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, but I wanted to tell you a little story about Mr. Steele, the type of person he is. Okay. And I told you guys I have spent so many days with him one-on-one, and how um I see Mr. Steele as a Mr. Rogers. Remember Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, JC?
I absolutely do. Yes, I do.
Remember, yeah, Mr. Rogers is the person that was very even tempered. He has a Christian base, morals and fairness and thoughtfulness, and just a well-rounded good guy.
Yep, and
And that
very
is
consistent. Very
and that's what
consistent.
Mr. Steele is. He's a well-rounded good guy who wants to see justice for everyone, not just for the rich, but for everyone. And if he's taking a case, he's not taking a case because he feel the person is the a perfect person. No, he's taking a case because he sees something wrong in the presentation or the charges of a particular case. Okay, just like when he took Jackie Johnson's case, a lot of people was like, "Oh my God, Mr. Steele, how can you take somebody that's had something to do with Ahmaud Arbery case?" And they were going in on him, right? It turns out Jackie Johnson was not guilty of the stuff that was being said, because Jackie Johnson herself was being controlled by the powers that be. She recused herself from that case because she felt she was too close to those individuals to even part. She didn't recuse herself because she didn't believe them. She didn't want anyone to say there's some sort of impropriety in the case or anything like that. You understand what I'm saying? Every single body on this earth of the United States of America deserve a fair trial. Every single body, whether you like them or not, whether you have biases against them or not. Here's the deal. Diddy, Sean Combs, he deserves a fair trial. Okay. He has some personality defects, like we all do, as everybody else on this earth has some personality defect, right? Is he being charged rightfully for the things that he is being charged for? That is what's being on trial right now. Now, whether or not he's a perfect boyfriend, whether or not he's a perfect man, he is not. To me, some of the stuff he has allegedly done is horrible. 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 When I tell you horrible, horrible. Okay. But do he deserve a fair trial? Absolutely. And if it means bringing on Mr. Steele or bringing on a Westmoreland, which is the two people that are my favorites, and I'm not gonna be sorry for that because they are my favorite. That's because I spend time with them and I know them. You understand what I'm saying? But if they are coming on there because they feel that something is not right in the case, absolutely I'll take the case too. I would. Even if you don't feel the man is the perfect man, because he's not. Okay? You get what I'm saying? And that's the thing about news reporters, right? We are all coming here with our own personal experiences, right? But the key thing is to try to keep away from our personal experience and just tell what the facts are, what's happening in the case, okay? Just tell what the facts are. And that's why I try not to put my personal feelings about Diddy or anybody else on there. Okay. I tried not to because I want you guys to see the whole thing, the fairness. Okay. There are content creators who hate the man with a passion. There are content creators who loves the man. He could do no wrong, right? But we got to come to the point and just tell them what the facts are, the facts, what's in the courtroom. Because you guys are not in the courtroom. You guys don't know what's happening in the courtroom. That's why I try to bring to you guys exactly what is being done, the body movement, what happened, what this person looks like, not from my perspective of how I feel about the juror. First of all, the jurors are human beings, okay? They are not robot. They are not controlled by what we think. They go by what is being said and what is being done, whether or not they believe that witness is credible. And they look at body language, they look at the expression of the witness, they look like, okay, does this fit with what is being said? That's what they're looking at. For people to come into their platform and dog out jurors and say what's on the juror's mind, we don't know. All we can do is tell you what we see as an expression of what they look like, what they did, the movement of their body and stuff like that. Okay. And here's the other thing. Folks come up in my chat because I'm not one of the likable people, and I don't care. But let me tell you, when you leave this room here, you're gonna know what happened in court. You're gonna know those facts of what's going on. Okay, that's what you're gonna know. And I know sometimes my style may not tickle your fancy, or you may not like my delivery or something, but I'm gonna tell you what it is. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what seems weird, what seems outrageous, what seems cool. I'm going to tell you that, okay? You're not going to like me, and I'm not here for you to like me. I'm not here. Here's the deal. I'm not here for you to like me. I am here to bring you information, and I am not part of anybody's case. I'm not I have not been paid off by anybody. Okay. I have not. I'm just here to give you what the facts is. And exactly, you're really right, Cynthia. I don't work for you. I don't work for any of y'all. Okay. I'm just gonna tell y'all what, and I know half of people get on here and try to bash me and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Because I said one thing that's happening in that particular time and case. They don't like it. It's not fitting with what they want. So they come in and bash my put comments in my thing and said trying to bash me. But it's cool. It's cool. You have your opinion and you're okay with your opinion. If I feel your opinion is disrespectful, I'm gonna delete it. Period. Because I'm not here for you to beat me up. Okay. I'm not here for me to just stand here and just get tossed and turned by what you think about me. That's not what I'm here for. I'm 58 years old. I am old enough to tell you how I feel about what you're saying to me. And if I want to take it, I take it. If I don't want to take it, I'm gonna move on. And then if I feel like it, I might cuss you out too. Okay. I'm almost 60, and 60-year-olds don't give a damn. All right? Okay. Now that we got that out the way, now we got that out the way. Y'all can go ahead on, get off right now because I'm not going to take your bull. And I'm telling my mods right now, anybody coming here with the bull, snipe them. Snipe them, snipe them, snipe them. All right? JC. Hi,
Yes,
JC.
lady. Yes, lady.
How are you?
I'm good. Yesterday was very interesting. Very, very interesting to me.
Definitely. Okay, JC, we got to talk about the whole movement, how Steel came in, pacing and going back and forth, doing the little knee bends and
Yeah,
squats.
that
Talk
that was
about it all. Talk about
that
it.
was
Folks don't
absolutely
know about that part, JC. They don't know about that part. Go ahead, tell
that's the part that's the emotional part for me. Like the part that really got me when they're in there and the government is doing their direct and they finish their direct and Steele is getting ready to get up and actually start with his cross. By this time, it was probably at least maybe 10:50 or so, maybe right around 11 o'clock. So he gets up to the podium, and if you guys have followed Steele at all, you remember with the YSL trial, he has these huge binders. He has all these sticky notes. He has his binders are, and I was able to see yesterday while I'm being in the main court. He has everything color coded. I remember at one point, Sean Combs was actually looking at the binder sitting next to him, and he was sitting next to when they were still doing the government, and I was able to look at the binder and seeing how he had everything color coded as far as I'm not sure if they were text messages. Some were red, some were green, so I don't think they were actual text messages, but it was things that I guess he individually were going to be taking a look at. So
hold on for a second. Guys, please share this. Please share it with people because people don't know what's going on, and she's going to give you the full effect of everything. Share it right now. Share it in your private X or wherever y'all other platform. Please share it so folks will know because she's giving you details. We're going to give you details of stuff that you cannot see from court.
yeah,
Jason, take it.
the details were huge yesterday. So as he's getting up, and everything Steele does is slow movement. He is very particular and very precise about every movement that he makes. So he's walking up to the podium, he's taking his binders, he's kind of setting them up there one by one. And I'm sitting here like, oh my God, here comes Steele. He is like the most, I mean, to just watch what he does and how he does it, he's so confident about what he does. So he goes up to the podium, he sets his binders up. At the time, the jurors are looking at him. It's like they're shifting the chairs. They're waiting for him to start. So right before he starts, Judge Subramanian says, okay, Steele, what we're going to do is try to take a 10-minute break prior to cross. And he said, no problem, Your Honor. So they take the judges, they let the jurors go back. And then you see the witness, she gets off the stand and she's very, very timid, head down completely. Guys, we can't say much about this witness, but what I can say is her mannerism in court was very modest. Her head stayed down constantly. When she walked in court, her head was down. When she got on the stand, her head remained down the entire testimony when it came to direct. Her hands were fidgeting. She seemed to be nervous or wanted to appear nervous. So she walks off the stand. She goes back, goes out of the courtroom. Um, and so they're on break. As they're on break, I see Westmoreland. She gets out of her seat. She's in the middle row. You see Donaldson. They walk back towards Steele. She's smiling. She has smiles on her face. Steele's at this point in time, he is literally pacing the floor. He is walking from one side of the table to the other side of the table, blowing out deep breaths. Westmoreland is smiling. He then gives Puffy a pound. He's so ready to do this cross. It's like when they were done with direct, they could not wait for them to be done with direct because based on what they felt like she said yesterday, they already had in their minds it wasn't enough. They already had in their minds that they were about to combat everything she said. He could not wait. I have to say, when watching Steele with the YSL trial, I was not there, so I could not see, how he acted when the camera was not on. But this man seems so ready for this trial and so ready to fight for Sean Combs. And I can't say it's specific to it being Sean Combs, but one thing you can't say about Steele is he's going to fight for you. And yesterday, that man did not look at her as a victim. And it was very clear that he did not want the jurors to look at her as a victim. And
Wait, hold on, JC. I wanted to. If you guys remember when YSL, remember when he got up there to talk to certain people, how kind he was, and he would say, "If you don't understand, could you just let me know, and I'll repeat it for me. Is that okay?" If he would ask permission. Can I could do this? Can I do that? He would, how very polite he
very
is.
polite.
He was not polite to her at all. He was a
But he was
beast.
still polite to the court. Let me say that even when court is not, it's not open court and they're on break, still asking the judge, can I approach you? When they were actually, if I'm not sure if you guys was able to get this, but still handed out binders that he wanted the jurors to be able to see. And while they were on break, the judge arranged for him to be able to have the binders set in the chairs of the jurors prior to them coming back. When he's walking up to the judge to even offer the binders, he's asking the judge during break, Your Honor, may I approach you? This man, everything about this man is respect. But one thing yesterday, he did not respect that witness. And I don't think he didn't respect her individually as a woman. He did not respect the accusations and the way in which she handled herself after those accusations, due to the fact that he was actually fighting for Sean Combs. And that was his job, was to defend him. But as he's pacing, let me go back to pacing. He's pacing, walking back and forth as they're on break. He's preparing himself, and in his mind, he is ready to go. What took me out was as he's starting pacing back and forth, he got to the end of the table and started doing leg bends. This man had both hands up and doing squats in the middle of court to prepare himself. And then the famous, and I'm not sure if you guys don't notice this, but I remember saying this to Miss Sylvia doing YSL trial. I remember asking her, why does he blow his shoulders? He'll look over both of his shoulders and he'll blow air on both sides of his shoulders. After he did the leg squat, he blew both sides of his shoulders. I said, oh my God, what is coming? What is coming? And it actually came. It actually came. He literally did what he came to do yesterday. He did what he came to do.
And later on, we will be reading the transcript of the whole testimony part. Once we get that together, once we get the transcript, we're going to be reading that. So I want you guys to, stay tuned for that. But we wanted to give you inside eye view, eyewitness of the court proceeding. And so Steele starts with his questions, right? JC and I both, we're juror watchers. We watch the jurors, because even her and I, when it was break time, we talked to each other and how we noticed certain things of the jurors. I mean, I tell you, we were looking from the front all the way to the back to the jurors. And y'all, I've told you from day one, how I felt at least one juror would not convict. I told you that. And I told you based on my observation and how their movement, their body, and the way they were looking. Sometimes they were rolling their eyes and stuff like that. You could tell some things were not hitting with them. They were not believing. Okay. One of the things that caught me with this witness, I don't care who you are. When you do not give eye contact to somebody and when you're telling your story, people are not going to believe you. Do you understand what I'm saying? You cannot give any kind of eye contact. If you're looking straight down, and I don't know why they didn't prep her to look in the face of the prosecutor, and when she's saying certain things, they really messed up. She would not look up at all. She seemed like if she went into a child stage. You know how
Absolutely. Absolutely.
like a little kid, like a 2-year old that did something, their mom come in, okay, did you take the cookie out the cookie jar? And the little baby looking down, no, mommy. You know what I'm saying? She kept looking down. She did not look not once at the prosecutor, not in their face, not even look over to the juries. She didn't look at them at all. And I'm like, I want to believe your story, but it's hard because you're not giving me that eye contact. And
And I understand that people say PTSD, and that might be the case. It might be the case. But what took me, what I couldn't, the part that I couldn't believe about it is once Steele start his cross, she started to look up.
yep,
She started to speak louder.
yep,
She started to get some type of confidence about
yep,
it. Her real self started to show.
yep.
She was, and I'm just saying this based on what I seen my individual self as far as what I thought it looked like. And it wasn't just how she looked when she was on the stand to me. It was how she walked in. It was how she intentionally walked out. Each time she was to me, and this is going to seem harsh, she was putting on an act.
She seemed like an actress, like she's playing a part.
She was putting on an act, and it did not go over well with the jurors at all. They were not happy with her yesterday. I don't know how they were with any other day. Yesterday, they were not. They were not falling for it. It was so obvious. It was, I've almost felt bad for her. Sitting up there in that witness stand, being so close to those jurors, and they being as obvious as they were being yesterday. I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah, if we could really like, I mean, I wish I could show you how she walks in, shoulders like up, head down, fingers in front of her. Hold on, let me see if I can show y'all. Hold on a second. Hold on, let me see if I can show y'all. Don't talk about my curtains. Me and this curtain here. Don't talk about this curtain. All right. Don't talk about this curtain. Don't talk about this curtain. I'm gonna be in this curtain for the time I'm here, right? So don't talk about my curtain. Okay, she's like this. Right? Her shoulders are up like this. Her head's down. She got her fingers like this, and she's going like this, walking in, just walking in like this,
And out.
and
Each time she get, I honestly, I was sitting at the very end row, right closest when you walk out, right by the door. So I was right there when she first walked in, and I was right there, the last person she seen as she walked out. I looked at her hands. I noticed what she did when she walked in, what she was doing with her hands. But I'm like, she has to be something in her hands. What's in her hands? And
nothing.
so as she walked out, I intentionally looked at her hands. I thought maybe she had some type of rosary beads or something that she
Yes.
was rubbing on, but there was nothing. There were no beads. There were absolutely nothing. She was just making the movements, and her head was down. She did it each time she walked in and each time she walked out. Each time. It was I 27 times. 27 times the government met with her. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if they were all physical, or she sat down and met with them, or if she actually just spoke with them on the phone, but 27 times. And they could not have figured out a way to make her come across as a more credible witness with a little bit more confidence about what she. And I'm not saying that to judge as far as how she's supposed to act. She shouldn't have to act a certain type of way. But when you are on the stand and you are telling your truth,
Be
you're gonna
you.
you're going to see some emotion. You're going to see some things that come out that you there. It was all. It just didn't. It didn't come across that way at all. It did. And then
Like,
once she started,
You said basically maybe that's hold on a second, JC. You said
uh,
maybe that's how she is. Lisa, you're probably right. But there was a point when Steele was cross-examining her. She didn't act like that. You understand what I'm saying by that? She did not like. If she did the same thing with Steele, I would say, yes, that's the way she is. That's the way she is all the time. And then she lit up. Like when she would read the text message, every time she said, I love you. I was
oh,
like, you remember that?
Miss Sylvia, the jurors, the people in the gallery, as she was reading her text messages, guys, she would say, is it at the end of the text message, she might say, I love you, or that might be the end of her text message. She would say, I love you. She was reading it as if she was acting a part. Everyone was looking around like, is there something going on? What's wrong? Like the jurors were looking around like, is this really happening right now? I mean, every text message. When she would say, hi, D Rock, I missed you. Oh my God. She would say it just like that. But everything else, when she spoke, she was mumbling. Well, no, I
It
don't
kind
know.
of reminded me that she may, and I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a therapist, I'm not, but it kind of sound like it could be some personality disorders. That's what it seemed like it could be. I'm not saying it was the way she changed up with certain things. It was like, okay, is she such a great actress that she can turn into these different roles at a certain time, or what? What is really happening here?
And please know, guys, we're not victim shaming. My thing when it comes to a court hearing, she is a witness. And there are some very, very strong accusations that can put someone in jail for a long, long time. The defense has to have the ability to cross her. And they have to have the ability to have the jurors see what they believe, which is that she is not a victim. So these questions have to be asked and they have to be answered. And what we're saying to you guys right now, it's with no exaggeration. It's exactly what happened in court. It really truly is. It's we're not adding to it. We're not trying to minimize her in any way. We're not trying. This is how she acted yesterday in court.
And now JC wasn't here the day before when she did the direct and the story she told of everything that was happening. The part that got me, y'all, the part that got me is the prosecutor was doing more of the testimony than her. You understand? Like when she got ready to say the word penis, she couldn't even say the word penis. We're gonna read the direct. We're gonna read the transcript for you. She couldn't even say the word. And now this is a 30-something-year-old woman or 40, whatever the age she is. For you not to be able to say the word penis, I'm like, did they push you to act like this, like that, and where you can't even say certain things? Just like me, I don't like to cuss, right? But if I'm sitting here trying to tell y'all something, I'm going to cuss to so y'all will get the energy of what I'm trying to tell you. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say this is the way she should be. Not saying that at all. All I'm saying that she turned to a childlike 2-year-old that cannot say certain things, that cannot. I mean, you're like trying to figure out why does she go into this little cocoon? You know what I'm saying? Why is she going into this little cocoon? Yeah, you said mental illness is real. Yeah, there you're right. Mental illness is real, but the actresses and role playing is real as well.
And to me, if it was a situation where it was like PTSD, which it possibly could be, I would think that she would be more in that cocoon state when the defense was actually speaking with her. It seems like with the government, she would have been comfortable enough with them after speaking with them 27 times that she would have felt comfortable enough to really tell her story in a little bit more of a confident way. She'd have felt a lot more comfortable with them. But it was the opposite. It's almost like she felt more comfortable speaking with Steele than
Mhm.
she felt speaking with the government. They were trying to pry things out of her. She was mumbling. She wasn't speaking loud. She wasn't clear. It was to the point they didn't even understand what she was saying. They had to ask her a couple times, well, what did you say, ma'am? Or either Steele would have to say, well, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't hear that part. Or either the court reporter would say it.
Yeah,
So
could you repeat that? The court reporter said a couple of times to her. Could you repeat that?
yeah, it was different. I'm not sure what they were trying to come across yesterday, but the jurors, and when it comes down to it, guys, what matters is the jurors. And I
Yeah.
have to say this. People are talking about how strong Steele came across yesterday, which he was. He was very strong. But one thing you can say about Steele is Steele pays attention to jurors. And you have to know what he's seen in those jurors yesterday, he's seen prior to yesterday. Therefore, he felt comfortable enough to have that type of cross with her because he knew what the jurors wanted. As he came out the way in which he came out, the jurors were feeding off of it. Therefore, he kept going and kept going and kept going to get the response from the jurors, and they were responding to him. He, if it would have been a situation where he felt like he needed to be more timid with her because the jurors were not taking it well, he would have pulled back. It was the total opposite, guys. The jurors were feeding off of this man and what he was saying and what he was getting to come out. It got to the point where he was, and I can't remember specifically what he said. He had asked her a question, and the government objected. And it was something obviously that the jurors really wanted to know, because when they objected and the judge overruled it, they literally turned and shift like, let's go. It's time. They were ready for that answer. They were basically, they were almost, I mean, they were in there waiting for that judge to overrule everything the government was saying. It was, that man paid attention to that jury, and he didn't start yesterday paying attention to him. He did not. That's the reason why he took the route that he took yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's just what
And
I,
anybody who gonna come at Mr. Steele saying he's immoral for taking on a person with that has been accused of those things, everybody deserves a fair trial. Everybody deserves to be tried by a jury or whatever way that they to find whatever innocence they believe that they are. Right. Um, Mr. Steele is there to do a job. His moral compass is still there, y'all. For you guys to even think that he does not have any morality because he's taken a case for somebody that you believe is guilty. If he believed in his heart of hearts that this man is not being charged for properly, it's not about what he is allegedly doing. I'm talking about really doing it, because there is a truth of something, right? But they are charging him with racketeering. They're charging him with a Mann Act. They're charging him with things of those sorts of things. They're not charging him for domestic V. They're not charging him for being a terrible boss. They're not charging him for being a controlling. So I have some words. They're not charging him for that. You guys got to understand that. And we got to get our feelings out the way. Yes, this man has done allegedly some terrible things. To me, even with the pay, I noticed he was paying the men higher wages than the women. To me, I was like, whoa, dude, you're a male chauvinistic. This is my opinion. My opinion here. You're a male chauvinistic pig. The way he I mean, it's just like there is some level of not treating women fairly to me that I see in him. Personal opinion right here. Allegedly. You're allegedly. This is Sylvia's opinion I'm talking about, right? But I see that in him. I see that he treats women less than a regular human being. He'll treat women equal. None. So, but I'm taking that part of me out of it and looking at the actual case itself. Okay. So, and I
And
would just
there
go
was
ahead.
a point, guys. I'm not sure if you guys were following on Twitter at all, the Inner City Press, where he actually does the live tweets. But there was a point where I think the government, no, matter of fact, it was Steele, was asking her a question, and she basically told him that she needed to get the okay from Puff to even go to her grandfather's funeral. Let me say, when she said that, I looked at the juror and I looked at Sean Combs. When I looked at Sean Combs first, his mouth dropped open. He shook his head and he looked at Agnifilo next to him and started talking to Agnifilo. I looked at the jurors, they didn't believe her. The minute she said that, they poked their lips out to the side, like, I don't think so. I don't believe it. They shook their head. And it wasn't in a way of which, like, oh my God, how could he do that? It was like, really? That's how. And I'm not sure if they're looking at her like, in a sense, as how could you let someone make a decision for you if you're going to your grandfather's funeral, or if they're looking at her like, I don't believe that. I'm not sure which one it was, but the reaction, either or, was they didn't believe it. They didn't believe it at all. And when it comes down to it, guys, these jurors are who's going to be the ones that's going to make the decision. They're going to be the ones that's going to make the decision for this case. And I just know that with Brian Steele being who he is, he pays a lot of attention to those jurors, and he would have been very, very, very timid with her if he felt like he was getting a response from those jurors that they did not like that. And I have to tell you that that's not the response that they were given. They were waiting, and they were being driven by what that man was saying and how he was actually handling her yesterday. They really were. They really were. Now I don't know how it's going to be when it comes to the next witness, but as for her, it didn't go over well in the end. It really did not go over well when it comes to the jurors.
Okay. All right, yeah. We're gonna, if you guys have any questions, let us know what questions you have. And I was reading some of you guys' statement. You said here, Cassandra, you said you have to tell your boss to take time off for a death. That's normal. That is absolutely normal. There is some job that don't allow you to get bereavement time except for immediate family. Like grandma and grandpa is not considered immediate family. Like your mom, your sister, your siblings, your brother and sister, they'll give you time off. And then the other things, like if you have cousins and best friends, they were like, take your PTO time or don't get paid for it. It's jobs. There's some jobs that's worse than Diddy.
But see, the thing was, she was trying to portray that she had nobody to go to, and it was during the time that um still was asking her, did you not have friends? Did you not have family that you could go to, that you could talk to about what was happening to you or what you were allegedly saying that was happening to you? And when he asked her that question, her answer to that was, I had to even get the okay for him to go to my grandfather's funeral. So she didn't even answer the question that he asked about, didn't you have anyone to go to? She felt like combating it with the fact that he was in control of her life, like she couldn't go to someone. And then that's also when he took it upon himself to say, well, you couldn't text anyone, you couldn't call anyone, you couldn't talk to someone about what was going on with you, these horrible, disastrous things that he was doing to you. And she said no. So he asked her, well, didn't you have contact with D-Rock? And she said yes. Wasn't that a big brother to you? She said yes. He said you texted him, didn't you? You spoke with him. She said yes. So he was trying to make it clear to the jury that when you talk to someone about the things that you wanted to talk to them about, you chose to. You chose not to talk to certain people about certain things. And therefore, can we believe that they're true? Just like you chose not to speak about so-called the SA when it came to your lawyer, when it came to the money that you got from him, you chose You didn't even bring up the fact that you had been SA'd when you went for the $10 million settlement and end up settling for $200,000. You didn't even bring up the SA, but you chose to bring it up when this court case came. So how convenient was that?
And see, that's the thing I can't understand. Understand, she said she didn't tell him no first time. She also said she never put it in any of the reports. And when did it's like after Cassie's case, after Cassie got the payoff, that's when she started coming out with stuff like that.
And then you also have to ask yourself, if she's on stand saying that she never said no, what do the jurors have to look at?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What proof do they actually have to say, can I believe her? I mean, at the end of the day, the jurors can make a decision. They can weigh if they want to believe part of her testimony, all of her testimony, or none of her testimony. You have to look at the credibility of the witness. And the fact that she actually is physically telling them, I never told him no. What proof can they look at outside of her saying today, that's what he did, and I never told him no? They have to have a basis in order for them to come up with a guilty or a not guilty. And I never told him no is going to be, I'm sure, a huge basis when you don't have anything else to corroborate that it happened outside of your word. So I don't think it looks good when it comes to them believing her. I really don't. But that's my individual opinion.
That's my opinion. Okay. She was okay. I'm gonna read some of the stuff you guys. I'm gonna go up and read some of the stuff you guys are saying here. Let me go up. Let me go up. Okay. All right. Willis Scott here says here, when you tell the truth, it comes out easy. When you lie, it's a problem. And she was over prepped to the point that she could not remember what they told her to do. Next he says Puff. She's been around Puffy when he was getting ready for roles in movies. She could have ran lines with him. So she's acting her acting ability really was not as good as prosecutors wanted and needed. Steele was awesome. Okay, Steele, he is a defense attorney. Yes. Constitution grants all citizens right to counsel, right to be fit to a fair trial, and impartial triers of facts, and much more. We all are entitled to that. That's right, Miss Renee. She gave up too much info in her testimony. CBS showed working on document. Oh, for real? Cassie BFS, there is no way she wanted to protect her identity. What? What? Nicole Harrison? What? Do tell us more, Nicole. I didn't know that. Whomever is saying anything about him, Brian Steele is a defense attorney and has been around the music industry before YSL. He knew Puffy. All right. Mr. Steele is only doing his job. I wish I could afford him for my son case. You know he do take pro bono. Inner City Press is biased in his tweets. Okay. You have to get the okay from your job. So what's the point? Well, not okay for the time off. Okay. Thank you, CMT, for putting my please support the channel. These are my ways of supporting the channel because guys, you know it's expensive out here and I need your help. If you work for someone, you do not have to tell your boss if you had a death. Yeah, you do have to tell them. You're right. You have to tell your boss to take time off for that. Yes, it is normal. It is definitely normal. Okay, Steele is very juror conscious. That man is a beast. Yes, Tracy, I agree with you. Great job, Attorney Steele. I love you. I love you. He's great at what he does. Okay. All right. She admitted on the stand more than 5 times she lied to Diddy. Ooh, ooh. Oh, oh, thank you for bringing that up, Nicole. Yes, in her text messages, when they read, and then they asked her, did you? She says no. She lied. Yes, yes. Thank you, Nicole, for reminding her. She lied several times on her messages. Like when she was on the boat, she told him she was on the boat, and he had the prosecutor asked, "Were you on the boat?" No. Did you lie? Yeah.
And another thing that still brought out was a lot of these posts that she put on her social media. A lot of it was on her personal social media. It wasn't on the business social media where she was actually working as in a business forum for him. A lot of it was on her personal social media after she no longer worked for him. She was at the latter part of the text messages that he was actually showing. This was after she no longer worked for him. She was still promoting certain things about what he was doing, and still said, how could you still be promoting on your social media for someone that you no longer work for that did all these horrible things to you? She said she don't know why. She doesn't understand why. And that's when she said, well, you need to ask my psychologist about that. And people thought that was huge that she brought up her psychologist. And
Yes.
but what you have to understand is, well, the jurors didn't go for that. When she started saying stuff about the results of PTSD and what, how she was reacting to it, they almost took it as she was reading a book. It did not come across well in court at all. They literally, the minute she started talking about it, they went to shaking their head. They put their head down. A lot of them it almost looked like they were embarrassed about what she was saying. And the way in which she was responding to his questions. They had their heads down like, I can't believe she even went there.
Yeah.
It didn't come across.
It wasn't authentic. To me,
It,
it was rehearsed. It was more of like, okay, Gay gave you this as a spiel of when he says this, say this, and bring up what the books in psychology and stuff like that says. A victim should act different kinds of way instead of you being who you are and what's telling your story or what's happening. You're gonna bring up what therapist said.
and
I'm
not
like,
just that, you're going to be something so traumatic like that. You're going to be emotional. It's going to bring up things that you remember. That's just going to make, especially if someone is coming at you about it, you're going to have some type of emotional reaction to it. You're going to it might even be to the point to where you might have to ask the judge to stop for a moment because it's just too much for you. It was none of that. It was absolutely none of that. She had no emotional reaction to the things that he was asking her at all.
no. And still will come back on Monday. Cross is not finished. Still is not finished yet. They did talk about that video. That video is what's going to be a killer because right now the judge says it's not coming in. But they had a conversation when court was over about that video again. So it's a possibility that video may still come in. The video where she had people talking about his birthday, shout outs or something like that. We don't know what the video
Yeah,
is. Go ahead.
and they had the judge, or still had the judge actually look at the video, and the judge felt like, I guess it was not, since they didn't, he actually said because they didn't do it within the time manner that they were supposed to actually put it in. They were supposed to have it in by 7 p.m. that night prior. And so, but he did ask him, Your Honor, can I ask her about the video? And if she can't remember the video, can I then, propose the video so to bring her, to jog her memory
For
and
impeachment.
for impeachment? And the judge said, you can most definitely do that. The minute they said that, I said to myself, I guarantee you, someone's going to go tell her, don't you need to that you need to remember that video. Her lawyer walked out of that courtroom and went to the back the minute that judge said that. And the minute she got back on the stand and still asked her about that video, she answered so quickly.
Yep.
Yes, I remember that video.
She
She
said
does
yes.
not want that video shown.
Yes, still everything still asked about that with pertaining to that video. She said yes to it. She did not deny it at all.
And I think the thing about the video is the reason why they said that they brought it late. First of all, someone sent them the video late, and then not just that, they didn't think they were initially going to have to use it, but based on her mannerism in trial, as far as her timidness, the way in which she came in and she's, rubbing her fingers, she can't look up. The way in which her body language was the entire time of her being on the witness stand, basically, he felt like he needed to show. I think they felt like they needed to show the difference between how she acts on the outside and how she acts on the inside. So I think it was more so about mannerism and her characteristics as far as how she's handling things. And I think that's why they want to get it in. I think still wants the jury to see that.
Yeah, that she is it's an act that she's doing. So, um, so anybody have any questions for us? I'm ready for. Let me put the link in. Anybody want to come up and have a conversation with us? Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Tap on in. Here's the link for us. It's gonna be one person at a time. If you guys want to come in and ask a question, because maybe you can't type too much. You don't have to show your face. Just you could just put your avatar on and ask your question. And we will be doing the transcript reading later. Deborah says she's been coached. Yeah, most of the witnesses get coached. A lot of people don't know how to handle being on the stand, so that is a normal thing. That is a very much a normal thing to be coached while on the witness stand, to help you to feel at ease. And they do role playing, they do mock interviews. I mean, mock trial type of things with them to help them out. So that is normal. Good morning, everyone that's coming in. Do you think Mia wanted to accomplish what? How has his family been in the courtroom? They've been sitting in there, sit quiet. His mom comes in. The mom's been in there every day this week. Now his children, the girls are, from what I'm hearing, the girls are not coming back until like probably the end. That's what I'm told. Because they had their graduation and they're doing things, what graduates do, have fun before they make up their life's decision on what they're going to do for the rest of their lives. Thanks for you both for expressing what observed clearly and consciously. Then you're welcome, Coco. You're welcome. And y'all, we're not. Do you see any emotion from Puffy's family? No. I don't see any emotion at all. They look straight. And sometimes they talk to him, like in between breaks. His mom might say something to him, or the boys might say something to him, and he'll talk back to them. But whenever they come in, he always recognizes his family. He says hello to them and do his heart and things like that.
I noticed that yesterday as well, Miss Sylvia. I noticed that it seems like his family drives him. Initially, his family were not there when court first started yesterday. And he looked back a couple times.
Yeah, he
looked for them.
Mm-hmm.
He looked for them. And he was, I don't want to say somber, but he was very monotone, his face. But the minute his family walked in that courtroom, it's almost like he lit up. I mean, and I'm just saying that as a, no individual. I mean, but he literally, you can tell that his family drives him. The fact that they're there is huge for him, I think.
Yeah, and the family support is there. And that guy that's his best friend, the one that everyone, because he had told me he's his cousin, then he said his god brother, but that guy is very close. He's there all the time. He's there to support him.
And I did notice King, he takes a lot of notes. Kings is the one to seem to be taking a lot of notes for trial.
Is he the one that I thought somebody's doing the documentary? Because they said there's somebody in the van, the Sprinter, with a camera and stuff like that. So I don't know. Aren't they supposed to be doing a documentary on this?
I heard they were as well.
Did she mention she has ADHD medication prior to working in the company? I can't remember, but
No, I don't remember hearing that, but I do remember when on direct, the government asked her about the issues that she were going through, and she did say that she had been diagnosed with PTSD and something else, and still objected. And matter of fact, I don't even think he objected then. The judge automatically, as soon as she said that, the
he
judge
said
asked
sidebar.
told him to strike that. And then
Then
they
he
asked
also
for
has
a
sidebar.
sidebar. Yep, they
Yep.
asked for a sidebar, and and whatever it was, they came back and she could not, and the government told her we cannot talk about a diagnosis. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that's about, but they could not, the judge would not allow that.
What is Mia's end game? I'm not sure. I don't know. To get her
Can't say
story
this.
out.
Let me say, when she got the 200, well, actually the $400,000, the actual lawyers got $200,000, and she got the other $200,000. When she sued him for that, that was for so-called, it was for I guess overtime that she wasn't paid for, and it's for monetary, when it came to what she was doing when she was working for him that she wasn't paid for. Nothing had to do with any type of essay, any type of emotional issues. So I honestly think I wouldn't be shocked if we see a lawsuit come after this, honestly, when it comes to that aspect of it. I wouldn't be shocked if he's found guilty. I would not be shocked if she sues him after.
And they started out, her attorney asked for 10 million. That was the started up. That's how much he was asking for at first. And then they end up getting the 400,000 for work stuff. Another blogger said they could tell she was lying. That's what another blogger said. I told you, Marcy, when she could not look up, that's where I found the problem with them. That's where I found there was some issue, because you cannot look up to even tell your story. It's your story. It's your experience. You're gonna give them your experience. You know what I'm saying? That how hard, no matter how hard it is, you want this man to pay for what he has done to you. That's what you're there for, right? To give up your story, to tell you what's going on, what happened to you. And the first day, y'all, we can feel, and that, something happened. I'm just going to say something happened, right? I don't know. Allegedly, something happened. Allegedly, I'm going to say that. Allegedly, something happened. Now, what way it happened, we don't know. Was it force or was it willingness? We don't know. And that's what we're trying to get to the point of what happened.
And I think Steele was trying to bring out, I honestly believe they were, I don't want to say a relationship, but I honestly believe Steele was trying to bring out that they were
Consensual.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then here's the part that got me too, y'all. Alleged. Here's the part that got me is when in the text message, Diddy said he was gonna tell. Did y'all get that part? Diddy said he was going to tell. He said, F them CBS, F this, F that. I'm gonna tell. Okay, what is he gonna tell? What did you not want him to tell about? Yeah, he was gonna tell Cassie, but I mean, why you didn't want him to tell Cassie? He did this to you. Why you didn't want to tell her? I mean, it's crazy.
Because she knew that she was doing something or partaking in something that her so-called friend would not like.
You was
And
doing something behind your friend's back. That's what you're saying?
I think she might have been doing something behind her friend's back. I honestly believe she was doing something behind her friend's back.
Because she didn't want to tell it. She didn't want him to tell.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You guys are funny. Good morning, everybody is coming in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It seems they were having a relationship behind Cassie's back. They said that it was blackmail.
And then, guys, majority of the pictures that they were showing, that on the social media, she was the one right next
Did it each
to
picture?
Diddy. Each picture, when it
Yep.
would be like a group picture, she wouldn't be off to the side. She wouldn't be somewhere up front or in the back. She would be the one always right next to him. Always, always.
During the alleged rape, did she testify telling him no? No. She said she did not tell him no. She did. She said it herself. She did not tell him no. Did you tell anybody about this? No. She didn't tell nobody, and she did not tell him no. She said she felt she couldn't tell him no. Do y'all think the prosecution not vetting their stories? I think the prosecution wanted to hurry up and get this to they weren't ready really, y'all, because they said they were still investigating. Because remember when they asked for a speedy trial and all that, they were still investigating, but it doesn't matter. They want the speedy trial, and he's entitled to a speedy trial.
And I also think when the prosecutor seen that video, that CNN video, and with the combination of them trying to get certain people to, well, getting certain people to talk about how violent he was, since he's a very violent man, I think they thought that was going to be enough.
And that's their strongest point is that video. That
Yep.
video is horrible.
And the violence.
That video basically is like everybody felt that allegedly that he was done because it was terrible. I mean, can't none of us say it was cool for what we saw on that video. None of us,
No.
even the person that's all male, 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 male. It's not cool. It's not cool the way he kicked that girl like that and all. It's not cool the way he hit that woman, not girl, woman. So not cool at all. All right, Miss Renee. Miss Renee, what's up? How's school going? Did you finish?
I am in my summer semester. I have 2 more semesters after that, and
Oh,
I'll sit for the bar.
all right.
It's
Shout out
almost,
to our future attorney. Shout out to our future attorney.
yeah, yeah, a defense attorney at that. I got some questions for you, Sylvia.
Uh-huh.
This is your third RICO trial watch, correct?
Yeah. Third, yeah. No, I had done more than three. I did YSL, I did YFN, I did
You sure did.
R. Kelly, not R. Kelly, and then I did Diddy now. Yeah.
Okay, comparing these trials, which were grounded on the RICO statute, how are you seeing, or do you see any problems with how these cases are charged with RICO? Like,
I think they're trying to do everything on the kitchen sink to make it a RICO so later on they have precedence and they can use it to get anybody they want at any time. I think that's what they're doing it for. The original purpose for a RICO was to get mobsters in because they couldn't get mobsters. So now they're trying to get them they were trying to get them through their organization, and they were successful because they were organized crime organization. But now they're taking regular, everyday, big wigs, positioned people who are doing things that have some personal, immoral status to it and making it into a RICO. And now it's like anything, if you fly a girl across town to have a relationship with her, RICO. If
right,
you slap somebody too hard, and RICO. If you don't pay your employee right, RICO. If you want to have threesome, foursome, fivesome, RICO. You know what I mean? If
it
you
seems that way. It seems
look,
like you're taking flaws. If you have a legitimate business and there's someone other than you in this business who knows about your flaws that you're doing. We're
Yeah.
gonna wrap you all in, lump you all in, and get two or more of these, and you're done. We gotta
And
get.
listen, Georgia right now has a RICO on people who were protesters. So there's a RICO on that. There was a RICO for the students cheating in the test, the teachers helping two students cheating. That was a RICO. So they doing everything that is not that is immoral as part of RICO now.
Okay, next question.
Okay, we
You're
got somebody waiting too. So go ahead.
okay. You're in the courtroom. You're looking at this jury. Can you compare and contrast this jury with what you're seeing as far as that YSL jury,
I see some of the same jurors in YSL in this juror.
as far as characters and things?
Yes,
You gave
yes,
it.
yes. I
Okay.
have a writer.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right. Oh, last question. The Punisher. Are there, to your knowledge, do you think there will be other witnesses who come in with that Punisher, those activities with other victims?
Remember, they have Jules still out there, so I don't know if they're going to bring Jules in. But
Gotcha.
Jules has posted on his social media that they lied on him, so I don't know if he's going to bring him in. I don't know. They might decide to cut him off.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
let
Well,
me-
you ladies,
hey,
y'all are
hey,
doing
hey, I also wanted to tell you, with the YSL, and these jurors here, the facial. Remember, I told you there was some jurors.
you gave us all the tea.
Yeah, remember when I told you there are some jurors when Adams came up and they just like, oh, well, Steele kind of got some of them too. I just want to tell you.
He's a natural magnet. He's a
Oh
natural.
yeah, he is definitely that.
All right. Well, you ladies enjoy, continue to do God's work and the people's work, because what you're reporting from the courtroom, we cannot see. We cannot log on and visually see it. So you are our eyes and ears on the ground. And thank you, ladies, so much.
All right, thank you. Hey, Uda. Uda, I thought you wasn't talking to me. You walk by me, don't say nothing no more. You know me, I'm gonna tell you like a T.I. is. You walk by me and you ain't my friend no more. Okay. Hey, lovely lady. Good
Hi.
morning.
Good morning, Sylvia.
Good morning, darling.
Hi, guys. I'm just jumping on here. First and foremost, I want you to know that I did graduate. Thank
Congratulations.
you, thank you.
All my
I'm a
babies are
martyr.
graduating.
Yep. I had to go up to
Congratulations.
Ohio. Thank you. I had to go up to Ohio and go across that stage. I got it. And now I'm planning on teaching soon. I got a job interview coming up to teach. So I'm ready. I'm ready. But foremost, I want to talk about the Diddy. I don't want to get off topic, but I just want to give first. I want to ask this question: Did they? Because I haven't been following too much of it, but when I have a chance to, because I have my grandkids, I have to look after and stuff. So I've been missing parts. But did they ever say about his son? Some flash across the TV. I was watching the news or something, and they was mentioning his son King, and they was saying something about they was gonna bring him in. The prosecutor, did they ever say that they was gonna do that? His
How they gonna
son.
bring him? He's been in the courtroom every day listening to testimony.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. I said, well, wasn't he in the courtroom? Because they supposed if they had him on the list or anything, they would have him not watching or seeing or. And anyways, that was one reporter had to mention or something. They was throwing
But
his
you were
name out
right.
there.
You were right. He can't come in because he's been listening to everybody. The only time they let him come in is after he testified, and
Okay.
he's been in that courtroom every day. So there is no possible way that
No.
defense gonna allow him to get on the stand. So no.
And that's what I was saying. That was going to be my. If I was waiting for you to say something, I was going to follow up with that because I'm like, well, how are you going to be testifying when he for the prosecutor when he's sitting there? You know, they normally have them in a back room waiting to be called in or something. My second question is: do you think that Diddy will testify? What do you think?
No, he's not
I
gonna
don't think
testify.
so either because he's very emotional and from what they were
He's
saying
not
about
good.
his
He's not a
expression.
good witness for himself. He's not a
I
good witness.
wonder who's going to be on the witness list on the defense. Oh, Steele is killing it. My boy is killing it. My man is killing it. He is killing it. When they got him, I said, "Oh, it's over with. He finna bring every law. He gonna bring every. He gonna be he gonna be throwing out every laws and everything at them left and right. They better be ready because Steele don't play. He gonna come up with everything.
And look,
They already talking about a mistrial, and I bet you he had something to do with that.
he said it first. Look,
Okay.
lady, lovely lady.
Yes.
People talk about, oh, I'm fanned out. They don't understand. I've been with that man for 2
Oh, you been
years.
with him, Sylvia.
Come
I know.
on.
You've been with him from day one. He loved you to death.
Yes. He's like the family's back, and he gave me a fist bump. He says the family back.
Everything. When he see you, you see every time he
He
see you, that big smile come on his face. He said, "Hey, Miss Sylvia."
does. He does. He knows I'm in family. I'm like, y'all, I don't care. Y'all could talk about me all y'all want.
Okay.
Still and I have this relationship.
You
that y'all
do.
don't know
You do.
about.
And not only him, you have with all the other YSL. I call them YSL lawyers.
Yeah. I mean, it's like this relationship.
But still the man.
They were in that room with me, lovely lady. They were in that room with me. We spent time. We broke bread together.
Yes.
He
Yes.
apple with me. You know what I mean?
He came on your podcast.
Yes.
Duh.
I mean, all of them.
All of them.
And then he even promised me an interview. We just haven't sat down to do the interview yet. But because I have a relationship with him, I'm not gonna try to monopolize on that. People don't understand. I'll stay broke before I try to use my people that I know.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of person. I back y'all before I'll go and be trying to
They know who you are, Miss Sylvia. Don't pay no attention to that foolishness. You keep doing what you're doing. We got your back. And the time that I jump on and can get on, I have a 4-month-old, so I have to deal with that 4-month-old granddaughter. Thanks. I'm that martyr now. Yeah, HBCU. HBCU.
Go, girl, go.
Well,
I can't say go girl, go lady, because I got pissed off at somebody calling me girl the other day.
That's okay. That's all right. Oh, but I'm watching it little by little, and I'm watching every time you pop on. I try to pop on to see what's going on and stuff. And like I said, as I was typing on just a few minutes ago before I jumped on, Cassie was not friends with a lot of these ladies that are testifying now. Cassie was not friends. They all was after Diddy. They all wanted Diddy. But see, it's a price come with that. Even when these entertainers and movie stars, when they get up there and they go to wanting to be in the spotlight and stuff, it's a price come with it. And it's a price come with football players and all of that.
And I think they do that to those people because they know so many people want them. And that's why they go like crap, and which is not fair.
It's not fair.
But if you don't get treated, you'll be kicked to the side. You don't want to get kicked to the side. And so you do whatever they say do, which is not right, but they do it.
And then you got to look at it. When they got on, they was done so miserable. So they know the routine. They know how to do it. I mean, if I go right now and sign up with Snoop Dogg, what is Devereaux? If I go and I say I can sing, I really can sing. But if I go and say, okay, I want to join your I want you to sponsor me or sign me or whatever, however they do it. And I join with him and stuff. Allegedly, I'm not talking about Snoop Dogg. I love him. He's smooth. I'm just saying they all went through the trenches to get where they are. They had to do things they probably didn't even want to do. I can hear a lot of these people get on talk shows, and the first thing these movie stars and singers and football players or whatever they dealing with, they tell you, I went through the trenches to get where I'm at. So they know the ropes. They know how to do things. They know how to treat people. They may have didn't get treated the best of themselves when they was coming on and trying to get on and whatever. Some of them got less money than they supposed to have got. Some of them lost a lot of money. Some of them was given gifts and stuff and wasn't given the money that they was earning. So it's that's why I would never go into the entertainment business. Never, ever will I ever get into the entertainment business because it's crucial. It's
And tell
not,
your
and it
grandbaby
was
don't do
real
that.
bad back in the 80s and 90s. It was real bad, but it wasn't in the spotlight as it is now. It was real bad. Real. When I say real bad, it was real bad. And then you got these little drug dealers standing by, waiting to get them all hooked on drugs and stuff, because they can't handle the pressure. So they just standing by in little corners or whatever and stuff, ready to offer them drugs, and by them got them big money and they can't stand the pressure, and they out there on the stage every night and they need something to pick them up and all that. They go to these little drug dealers, get on these little drugs, and then they lose their mind, and then they start treating people the way they was treated when they came into the business. That's all what it is. It's a bunch of mess.
Yeah.
And they all need church. But I'm finna leave.
All right. See you later.
I love y'all. Miss Sylvia, I love you to death.
Love you to life, honey.
Bye bye.
Bye. Hey, Mr. Uda, how are you?
What's going on? I don't know what you're talking about, Sylvia.
Oh,
Don't you have to be down to you.
Let's fight in public here.
Uda said, don't do him like that, Miss Sylvia. Don't do him like that.
Right. You know, he know I ain't no fake and no fraud. He walked by me and he did not say nothing to me.
Uda out there doing his thing. Uda, big ups. Big ups.
Look,
She playing with you.
Say that. Look, Sylvia's gonna say that. But the other day, I came and was holding a door. Sylvia walked through it with the attorney and didn't say nothing to me. So I don't know what she's talking about. I held the door for Sylvia. I thought Sylvia was one of Uda angels. That's one of my other things. But here she going acting brand new with me.
Sylvia, who was you with? Who was the lawyer you was with?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Sylvia know every damn body. Sylvia know every damn body. She know all the people in there, bro. The other people from Atlanta in there and all that. She put me on. Look, Sylvia.
Uda, go you can try.
Uda, you out there doing big things.
Appreciate you.
No, y'all know Uda, y'all. He walked by me. He just didn't even.
I don't believe that. Do I look like the person that would do that? No, I won't. First of all, I love the ladies. She was my lady, so I don't understand what happened.
Y'all see Uda who he was on live with, y'all. We ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all see who he was on live with, y'all. Y'all saw it, y'all see who he was on live with. That's all I got to say.
Who I was on live with? I don't know. Listen, man. Uda got love for the people. Uda, listen, children. Uda is not in no thing with nobody. I got these people in this color. I'm not with nothing. I'm showing love all over the board. This person doing something personal with me, then I'm with that. But me personally, I'm not getting in between that because I'm with the building of us.
I'm talking about him walking by me, y'all. That's what we talking about.
Oh, me? Not me. That's what I'm saying. I'm not with that. I'm with helping everybody to win. We all winning together. And that's the type of energy I'm on because that's more of what we need. When we look at YouTube and all these spaces, right? I've been on YouTube for years. I'm not a new YouTube person. I got 10 monetized channels on YouTube. So at the end of the day, this makes 11. So at the end of the day, right? So people may think I'm new. I'm really a songwriter, musician. I'm an artist. I write music for those people.
I thought you were a comedian.
No, I don't joke. This me natural. I was scared to joke because I'm from the streets. I was selling drugs and doing all these things my whole life, and I quit it.
Hey, you better not say that. You might get a RICO. Better not say that.
They missed their time to RICO me. Statute of limitations. So boom, right? They missed their time. So it is what it is. But God is great, and I was able to change my life from some of those things, right? And I'm not with the perpetuation of that. You know what I mean? Come on, man. I'm with the building of us and all of that. And I really came from real beef, real war, real things like that. So I don't look at these type of things like real serious things. And a lot of times it's things that we doing and saying to each other that we can get over, man. And sometimes we just going too far with each other. So for me, I just want to build, win, everybody win. That's it. So I'm on.
That's what you're supposed to do, Uda. We all need to win. And we all can.
I said, I be sending people my videos I take. I be taking videos out there and I send it to everybody. I don't care. I post it. Yeah. I send them the clear thing. No logo, no nothing. Here, take it. This Justin, this the kids here. I don't care. Why? It's not going to do me no never mind. I already posted it. So, okay, I'll send it to whoever. I don't care. You can win too. Everybody can win. I'm not keeping nothing for myself. What I know, I tell you. What I can, I'll share with you too. So good. And it's free. I'm not charging nobody nothing. You know what I'm saying? Great. Right. So Sylvia, you got to get back on the good foot with me, all right? Because don't let me run down on you, follow your ass home. Don't do it. Don't make me get up on your bumper. Don't make me get up on your bumper. Okay,
Got too much. I got too much bumper for that.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I know that's right. I told you how I like my ladies with salt and pepper. With the, you know what I mean? With salt and pepper. I told you the other day. You better stop playing with me, lady. Okay? My last lady, you got to say yes, ma'am, to my last lady. So you got to know. You call her ma'am. Okay? She walking by like this. You know? If we don't get out of Uda way.
You playing.
And I'm like this. Y'all bust one more move and I'm going to do it to you for my lady. Do it.
So what'd you think? What'd you think, Uda, yesterday?
About the trial yesterday?
Yes.
Yesterday, I was actually late. I actually got to the court like 3 o'clock straight, but I had to run around to do it. But based on what I was hearing and things that I've seen, you know, it seems like Mia was pretty grilled on there. I heard Brian still was going crazy on her, was wild. And I'm like, what? Brian said that? Ooh. So, you know, what I gathered, though, a lot of people was thinking like Mia's some liar and all of this and all of that. I still got to really read it all and see it all and see exactly what happened. But I'm gauging that from a lot of people. So I know I'm going to get y'all view on that now on how y'all feel Mia did in there, if you feel she's lying about something or not. But regardless, she came in to corroborate some of the things that Cassie said, just like this is what the prosecution is doing. Like the defense is doing a good job by showing inconsistencies within a lot of the witnesses, barring Cassie. Let's separate Cassie because Cassie's Cassie, and nobody really pressed Cassie. But barring Cassie, all of the witnesses, even Cassie, they did at the end with the $10 million lawsuit, and she didn't want to tell us, and So it kind of looked a little hitchy at the end. And all the other witnesses, they've been making inconsistencies in them, like to say, a lot of people said things about Diddy. Remember, everybody spoke to the government way long ago, but everybody in the beginning of their statements never really said a lot of things that they're saying later in time about Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, never said this, he was on the, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't saying none of those things about him. So, but at the end of the day, some people may say that, okay, the prosecution's weak because of that or whatever they're doing. But I think the prosecution is just corroborate each witness so far. They corroborate each other. Flores came to say, like, the man, Jules, was in the room. Brian still grilled him to the point, such a great lawyer, that we was in there questioning if Flores even seen this guy, why he never wrote that guy in, and why does he remember him 9 years later and didn't remember him then?
Right.
It was that good. But then Cassie got on and was like, yo, it was a man in the room and his man name was Jules. So we're like, oh, woo. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
so now you got to bring Jules.
Now you got to bring Jules. You know what I'm saying?
You need to bring Jules.
You got to. Jules is instrumental. He was also there on the day of the freak off assault.
Yeah, in order for that story to be 100% believed. Absolutely. Because
but Jules been on his thing saying that wasn't him. He wasn't there.
And the jury's lying on both sides.
Who said that? Jules?
Yeah.
Where Jules said this?
I'm gonna show. I had the thing. There's an article from I think from ABC or one of those stations. No, Post. Post. New York Post. Go look at it. New York Post.
New York Post, Jules. No, I'm watching right now. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy, son. That's crazy.
It was a couple of days ago.
What? That is nuts.
And then the key is just that their only job, the defense job, is really just to show a good amount of reasonable doubt.
That's it.
They don't have to
defend doing a little bit.
Sense. And if it's a good amount of reasonable doubt, based on rules and regulations, they cannot find. I mean, so it really just that's their own thing. That's the only thing they have to do, and I think they're actually doing that. Now, when it comes to the RICO and the 2 predicate acts and things like that, you got to think about, okay, you think about bribery. You think about what he said as far as the actual, not the police officer, but the actual security guard. Initially, at the Intercontinental, he said that he tried to bribe him. Then you got to think about the fact that wasn't in the statement. That wasn't in the incident report, but you did say it on the stand.
But he also, but you got to remember, he also kept telling them how much damage they put into place, how much it's going to cost.
As what? Absolutely. Yes, so it's going to be up to the jurors. Am I going to believe that? Am I not going to believe that?
Yes.
Another thing that I think that they looked at when it come to bribery yesterday, I noticed that the jurors really did not like was when they brought up the text messages with D-Rock and how he was trying to reach out to Mia after when they found out about this case. and D-Rock tried to reach out to her, and she was insinuating that she thought that he was trying to pay her off. They didn't like that either. But then you also got to think about, you got to have proof of that. That's another thing that the jurors are going to look at. It's going to come down, what type of individual juror are you? Do you need proof? Do you only need circumstantial evidence? I know me as an individual person, I need to have a little bit more proof. Some people don't have to have all that. And jurors are people just like us. They have all different type of characteristics. They have all different type of what I might consider required, what I might require, the next person might not require.
Sure.
So I don't know. I don't know what this one.
But we always did, because like you said, we've been there from day one. So if you've been there, you've been heard them jurors talking. We heard them at least speaking. It ain't even about just watching the person, because they ain't talking when we see them in the court every day. You heard them speaking. We heard them. We heard the judge Aaron question them, ask them about the 14 sequestered questions and all that. So we got a chance to hear these people talking. And some of these people probably potentially have a bias already, probably know if they're going to vote guilty or not already. We got to understand that this jury is old people, young people, all kind of people, right? Yeah. Not only that, it's not like these people is legal minds and stuff like that. This is regular people like you and me. So we don't know all the legal jargon and all that stuff. All we know, you probably been in your own little freak offs, not to this level, but I'm just saying, when you're hearing this, you're like, what the hell? It's graphic, the gravity of it, and the level of it can make you think like, yo, this is probably some trafficking, or this is probably some RICO. So this is what I think they kind of just laying this out, whether they could prove it or not. The jury could just say, yeah, we think it's trafficking, bro, and just convict them guilty on it. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to the instructions as well. Obviously, when the judge gives them the instructions on what they can, the legality as far as the realm of what they can find guilty and not guilty, and what the. So I don't know, but when it comes down to what I seen yesterday, the jurors seems to be, they didn't trust her. They didn't believe her. No.
Wow.
They didn't believe her.
That's the first time I heard that.
And that's just individually. I've only seen her. I've only gotten in the main courtroom one time, and I've only seen her. And seen them one time as of yesterday, as far as the responses to the jurors. They did not believe her. I don't know about the other witnesses. I have no idea.
Hey, you got in there on a good day.
I got in there. I think I got in there on a good day. Yeah.
You got in a good day.
Yeah.
So, wow.
It was interesting.
What about Brian Steele was grilling her? What people are talking about, like when Brian Steele was cooking her, like what happened? I heard he was cooking. Rare form Brian. Straight. We ain't seen Brian since Flores. Remember, right? We ain't seen Brian since Flores. He's the first person that crossed Flores, and he's been chilling back. Remember?
No, he didn't just do Flores. He didn't just do Flores. He did the other guy too. He did the police officer.
Which one? The HSI one?
The one that
did the raid?
No, the one that the police officer that for the car.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. But before that was the first thing he did. Remember, he just opened up, did the first one, then Donaldson went on Phillips, then boom, then Gary, boom. Remember? Yeah.
He did.
Okay, so he did.
He did Flores, and he poked holes in what's the name's testimony. That girl, Dawn's testimony.
Dawn's testimony, yeah.
He poked so much holes in hers because of the kidnapping part. He poked holes about the GUN. He poked holes about the chase. Remember she said that that Diddy chased Cuddy card, and he asked the police officer, "Did you hear anything about a chase? Did you see a car chasing somebody when he went by?" Nope. He destroyed her on those things. And then the time frame, because she said it was 6 a.m. He goes and said it was, the police officer said in his report he put it was 8:20. So it was a lot of stuff that was inconsistent to what she was saying, and he just like tore it up.
That's what I'm saying. The defense been doing a good job with that though. They've been doing a good job.
And I saw the jurors writing notes. They were writing a lot of notes on it. But there's one juror, all he does, he write notes on every side.
Yeah.
Every side.
Yep.
Age range. What's the age range of the juror? What's the age range of the juror, you think?
Majority of them are older than 50.
So that person, that specific juror you talking about, what's the age range of that person, you think?
He's about, I would say early 50s or late 40s.
Okay.
But He takes notes on everything.
Are
And
you
then
speaking of? You speaking of the guy in the front, first
in the
guy?
front, yeah, the
Yep.
time he stopped writing was when they got ready to the you know the little thing the post-it. I mean the what's that thing they were the scrapbook.
Yeah.
That's when he stopped writing. I was like, whoa.
He's actually taking meticulous notes. He in there
No,
for real.
he writes notes for everything. But when they started
Yeah.
doing that
That's good that they got a person like him on there because he probably won't be swayed. He gonna have his own view. You know what I'm saying? We need people with their own view in there, bro, for real.
But let me say this. Initially, when I first started watching him doing the direct, he seemed to be going for the prosecutor. He seemed to be very, very like, and so then when Steele first started, he almost acted like he was irritated by Steele.
Oh, see that's what
he
I'm saying. See?
He acted like he was irritated by Steele. But let me say this: before it was all over, he was talking to the girl next to him, shaking his head at Mia before it was over.
That's not good.
He was almost throwing his hands up like, well,
I'm saying he probably feel like he's guilty already. Who knows?
Yeah, he did. That's the feeling that I got initially when I went in there yesterday.
The same thing.
See what I mean?
But not until Mia, I don't think, but most of the jurors do not believe Mia. Yesterday they believed, I mean, the day before they believed her because she was very
me too.
She was like, she couldn't say the word. Now, when you couldn't say penis, I'm like, something wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then yesterday, still got on, still just tore it up. Man.
Buddha, she didn't come out front, did she? She didn't come out. You know how they normally leave out front?
Yeah. No, the crazy thing about it is this. Listen to the wildest thing ever. Listen to me. A couple of days ago, right? For 2 days straight. Yesterday and the last day. I think the day before and the day before. It's a group of women that came into the court, right? And I see, remember, I'm live. So I'm always live. Catch things, I'm always live. So I'm outside and I see these women walking down the block, right? They came out of a car, but they're like, they're important though. I'm like,
tall, blonde.
All of them look like Sex in the City, SEX in the City, like that. So I'm like, so I'm in the fashion and all that. So I'm like, who the hell is the fit? So I turn the camera, put it on them. So now they about to walk towards the court and go into the middle. So I'm watching them. I'm talking about, I like this one with the little jacket. So So they went inside. So I'm like, I wonder who they are. They're really important. Somebody in this important. But then next day they came again. First day was 5 of them. The next day was 3 of them. But they all came again looking like they always fly to the 9s, to the heels, to all of that. The clothes look like it cost grands on them. Yeah. So I'm like, who is these people, bro? But then somebody was saying like, yo, they was moving with the witness in multitude, a pack of people, so that you couldn't tell which one the witness was when the witness walked into the court. So I'm like, So yeah, they may have been 1 and 2 together, and
I think they may have been friends.
I saw that.
I think they may have been friends.
That's all.
I think they do it to distract y'all too, to keep your focus off of her when she comes in, and then y'all focusing on them.
Yeah, because I saw her.
Remember, that's how they did with the husband, Cassie's husband. Remember how he would come in by himself and they already dropped her off?
Yes, and remember, every time he left, you never seen what Cassie was. But that one day, a person came out with a purple blanket over their head and went into an ambulance right after Cassie got off the stand. That one day, I was outside live, and somebody was wheeled out the front of the Golden Doors with a purple blanket over them on a stretcher, over their head and over their whole body. And they pushed them to a ambulance across the street, and they put them in the ambulance across the street. I'm like, who is that person? And then a little while later, we see Alex Fines, but I never saw Cassie. So a couple of people were speculating that probably was Cassie.
And that was her lawyer, Anna Fines, the Fines.
That's her boyfriend, Alex Fines.
Alex Fines. Okay, I thought you said okay. All right,
Alex Fines, the husband. You know what I'm saying? Because I caught a video of him.
Yeah, because he was going in and out. He was really quick with it though.
Yeah. But look, who they really like, they liked the stylist. The jurors love the stylist. Oh my God. That was the most believable person on the stand, the stylist.
Yeah, the jury
real. Huh?
The jury loved the stylist?
Yeah, he was real. They were laughing. They were like in tune to him, very much in tune to him.
Deontay Nash?
Yeah, Nash.
Yeah, but he had personality, he had charisma, he had
Yeah,
presence.
he was the
He had
bomb.
things. That's what makes you a good juror too. When you have like humor, you have other things because you know how to break the ice a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Some people are good. A couple of those witnesses were good though. Even Phillips had a little humor. Even the Punisher had a little humor with him.
The Punisher, yeah.
He had a little humor with him. You know what I'm saying? So when you get in them sticky situations with like a Brian Steele type person on your baba, you need to have a little humor to kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I think those jurors at some point, sometime they almost probably going to sleep. So they probably, I mean, because I remember hearing the judge saying they're going to take a break because he's seeing some eyes closed or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
there was one. They were bored at
Don Hughes.
Yeah, Don Hughes.
Yeah.
And the fire people, probably the fire people and all of that day. That day was dragged out. I know y'all was tight with that. Who that? ZX, what up? I know y'all tight about that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
ZX, what up?
Oh wow, I didn't know. I thought I was in unfamiliar territory. Good morning.
Good
Yeah.
morning.
Good
What do you
morning,
mean unfamiliar territory? Stop it.
Y'all don't stop by and say hello to me when I'm fussing people out.
I know that's right.
Look, sometimes you need a little help.
No, but it's okay to come by and just say, "Hey, what's up, man?" I'll be like, "Hey, baby." That's all. That's all. What's going on? Y'all talking about this Diddy trial?
Yes.
Yeah.
When
Mhm.
Diddy coming home? Can I keep it a buck?
Keep it a buck.
Diddy coming home? Diddy coming home? He
You
coming home
think he's coming
because
home?
Cassie. He coming home because Cassie was trifling, and I understand battered woman syndrome and all of that, but she was
But
just
hold on,
nasty.
yes. The thoughts and opinion of people on this channel is not of the thoughts and opinion of infamous Sylvia. I just want to say that, okay?
Disclaimer.
I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it. No. Now look, there are men. Now I know majority of the viewers are women, but let's be real. There are men on in that jury, and we don't look at women like that as victims. She was chasing the bag, and she did anything and everything she could do to get to the bag. That's what a man is going to look at. And I'm not saying Puffy was a gentleman and he don't deserve to be in jail, but not for this. Battery, yes. Abuse, yes. All kinds of other things, but it's too late. And racketeering is something that is generally used for mafia or gangs that distribute narcotics or real sex trafficking across state lines, little girls, kids, things of that nature. This, as a man, it's like, we can't get you for that. So we're going to throw you in this mixed bag in order to get you for what you did. And I think Cassie got 30 million. I mean, she should be cool. Ain't everybody else? I don't understand what the beef is. She got 30 million. She up.
Well, I'm sure there's some people that feel like, abuse is not worth money. So, we can look at the 20 million or the 10 million from the Intercontinental, but some people probably feel like I would rather not go through that and just, I mean, I know I don't want to get 20 million to go through, but you have to look at, I think it was consensual. My individual opinion is I feel like it was consensual, and I do feel
Exactly.
like she partook in that.
Yeah.
Well,
I think parts
when
of it
you
is
think,
maybe parts are not sometimes. I think some parts are
I can agree with that, Uda.
and parts are not sometimes, but people do it for a lot of reasons. You know what I'm saying? You probably doing it because you like it, you want to be there. Because we hear her testify too, but at times they are establishing at times she did not want this, or times she did not like it, or times she was escaping from it, and she would be back in a free call. So now, I mean, this is what the prosecution is trying to lay out. That I don't know if this is all conversion and no ex trafficking though.
Mm-hmm.
Probably it's another charge. I don't know why the prosecution probably didn't try to charge him with like some kind of kidnapping type stuff. If he really kidnapped me, and
statute of limitation,
that's what I'm
statute of
saying.
limitations.
That's what everybody says. So it's like, is
Yeah.
it sex trafficking, and is it really that? I don't know, bro.
I think it was I
No,
think
look,
they went the route, the most general way that they could put things all together and just make it a RICO. That was
Just
they
make it
felt
a,
like that was
make it
going to
a,
be the easiest way to get it.
just lump it in, right?
when she
Because all it takes is two
look, she
presidential.
blew. she blew when she is the person contacting these guys. That part right there blew me out. She's picking the person who's going to come over and assault her and force her. No, she was preemptively setting up the environment, what hotel, uh, like going through a menu and saying, "Well, I want this guy." Right there, she was done. Right there, she was done. Everything goes out of the window. Did he disrespect her? Yes. Should he have not put his hands on her? I agree with all of that. No woman deserves that. But she wasn't living in the basement either. He did not have her locked up, caged up. You know, he was on the other side of the world, as bruh said. And she's like, when you coming back? So we could do it again. You can't run away. You couldn't get away then. You couldn't get support then when you were separate. She didn't live with him. You could have got help anytime. People are thinking logically, not emotionally.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's just a warp zone world, man. You know what I'm saying? You could say some of that. You could say, is it psychological? Why she's doing it? You know what I mean? It's his lifestyle. It's what he likes. So she's doing what he likes as well. And, it's
But
just
here's the
a
thing.
toxic relationship. The
But
relationship.
here's the thing, Uda. She didn't want nobody else doing it. That's why she was willing to do that, get abused. Because remember, she
Yeah,
said it on the stand
yeah. He
that
with another woman.
yeah, she didn't want it. So I wouldn't want to get my behind beat. I don't care. I'm just
Now,
that
one
type of
question
person.
that I have when they talk about kidnapping and things like that, I wonder how they look at it. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but remember when they said that Cassie found out one of her friends had a tape and they were at her brother's birthday party and she literally cleared out the place, told those people to get out, or either she was going to do this and do that. Would that have been the fact that she made that guy stay there and say what she was going to do to him? Is that considered
Mm-hmm.
kidnapping? Is that against holding him against his will?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about
Mm-hmm.
how you look at things and what you can make a jury believe.
Mm-hmm.
To me, so I mean, it kind of goes a little bit of both ways. I do think it was a little bit of she was in a relationship. She initially got in it. She probably did things that she might not wasn't used to doing, but she agreed to doing them. Then she got tired of doing them, but she still did
Mm-hmm.
them. But I'm not sure if that's trafficking.
I
I'm not
don't
sure
think
if that's
so.
You
And
said
what about? Wait a minute. Oh, Donald Trump talking about he might pardon him. My God, what is going on? I mean, the potential of that. Do you know how many black folk gonna be like, "Puffy, I support Donald Trump"? That is trickery. But I mean, there's a lot of elements that is going to go in to this trial, and it may be a play on the community at large. When you got Donald Trump saying, I might consider um, pardoning him. They, think about the emotional roller coaster.
Let me ask you this. Some people are saying that he has state charges. So even if he pardons him, does he have state charges? I didn't think he had.
No, no, they in federal court. Homeland Security
Yeah,
is a
they're in federal
federal
court.
agency.
Yeah. So do you think they can
Yeah,
bring up state? Are they saying maybe he can bring up state charges and he can't? I'm not sure what they're, but for some reason,
statute of limitation, and some of the well, here's the thing. I'm being so honest. You don't have sex trafficking if all of the events happened in New York. There's no sex trafficking.
I think
The
they're saying
Punisher.
they were in Vegas, I believe, at one point, and then
That's you.
I
That's
think that's what's
Jules.
coming up.
That's for Jules. But remember, Jules said it didn't happen.
It's coming up next week. Also, the government is bringing in the evidence when it comes to the credit cards and then also the plane tickets. And they're trying to line up because they're actually trying to admit something that they put together, the government put together, and they were arguing about it today. They didn't want it, the defense didn't want it to be presented. It's some type of thing that they put together to try to make the jury believe, okay, the fact they got the plane ticket, They got the day of the plane ticket. They got the money that was spent on the credit cards. They got the hotel, and they want the jurors to believe that by putting this on this big platform that they're going to put up, or PowerPoint that is connecting, that really shows that they were trafficked, even though he might have come there for something else. Even though the plane ticket, he might have been in Vegas or whatever during that time for something else. Just because he flew to Vegas doesn't mean he went to that hotel.
Right. That would have been that could be considered extracurricular activity. Bad Boy Entertainment is not a now. If they were talking about he robbed some artists, I can go with that as a criminal enterprise. But as a criminal enterprise for sex trafficking, come on now, Bad Boy Entertainment, Revolt, all of those are legitimate businesses. Now, his extracurricular activities, where he may have used some of the resources, doesn't mean the entire business is a criminal enterprise. And the people that work for him, you could have quit. One thing I hate are people who cry after the fact, but you stayed so long.
Yeah.
You could have quit. You could just leave.
Some people quit and went back. So what you, if it's all of that, why are you doing that, though, bro? Come on, keep it real, though, bro.
Right.
Man went back.
The money, the bag, the money. The money is the motivator. And here's another element. I don't hear nothing about no kids. He ain't R. Kelly.
Nah, we never heard that. We never heard that. And we heard the world thing with some sperm, I think, though. But Cassie said my husband's not gay. And you know what I'm saying? So it's not like she said that he really was with the men or nothing like, and the escorts never said he was with the men, though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on.
And that part. Puffy is what they call a cuckold. He liked the look. That's what it's called.
He's a cuck. He's a cuckold. He's a cuck. That's what he is, a cuck.
Yeah.
When you
he just want to look.
Doing things to your wife and your woman or whatever, your partner. Yeah.
Like a peep and tell.
Yeah, Sylvia.
He watched.
He wants to watch somebody do it to his girl, and he gets pleasure out of that. That's called a cuckold. He masturbates while they do it to his woman, and that's it. I haven't heard anybody talk about he sodomized anybody or they did that to him. None of that. He just you know what Puffy really wanted to be? He wanted to be a porn director. He wanted to direct pornography. The boy could have just made some porno videos, started a studio or OnlyFans, and he would have been within the law. That's all he wanted to do. Okay, I'm trying, and I'm not going to stay up here long, but let me put this out here. One part that just blew my mind was like, what the hell do you need cases of baby oil for? Like, what the hell is going on?
Yes.
Right?
Bottles, those ZX, the bottles you never seen. You got 10 of the magnums in the pre-code ZX.
Right. But when they put it out there, I understood it. I was like, oh, you like to see their bodies glistening. You like the shine on a woman's body. Well, me too. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
I like that, bro.
It does look good. I like to see you get out the shower, doggone it. I'll be like, yeah, bring me the lotion, girl. Come here. Let me dry you off. But I mean, all that baby oil, do you know what the sheets and all the mess that they made all around them daggone? I mean, that's like Jerry Curl juice going back to the 80s. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, but that part, I didn't understand it, but once they told it, I was like, okay, I get it, bro.
ZX, okay. You gonna get some baby oil now?
I don't know. Hey, are you, before I start flirting with you, are you married? Hey, where your husband at? I like that gray hair thing, girl. I'm a grown man. You understand? Yeah. Yeah, I'm a grown. I like grown women. I don't like them young girls. I
want no spring chicken. I want me a seasoned bird. You already know what's going on.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I just became a grandfather.
Oh, congratulations, man.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. What
Thank
you got,
you.
a grandson or a
Yeah,
granddaughter?
I got a grandson, and my daughter, she named him after me, Devon.
Wow.
Aw.
And
If you're on the move,
yeah, yeah, man, I'm proud, man. And so, and let me totally on subject, but yesterday, me and her were talking, and I said, well, I ordered him a nameplate. I bought him his little bracelet. I bought him a 14 karat gold baby bracelet, and then I bought him a nameplate. And
man.
I bought him a nameplate, and it said King Von, right? And
Mhm.
my daughter's like, Daddy, you know that's that rapper. And I was like, he dead. This is my grandson. I like that name. I was like, I don't care about that. He my little king, you know.
Mhm.
And so I thought that was funny. I mean, yeah, I only like grown women because you're gonna have to be a grandma. You gotta be able to play your part with me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't do nothing fast no more. I go slow, but I get it all, doggone it.
I only did it old because she know how to damn treat me. That's it. You are. I'm not dealing with these young women. They
All
don't know how to
right now.
bye.
Yeah, and y'all, I appreciate your time. Y'all better come on over and sit up there when I be fussing. You know what my last commentary was about?
What?
Can men have babies? You know they hate me over there. They hate me. You are homophobic. I be like, I am logical. I don't understand what the problem is. Men can't have babies. Well, that depends on what the definition of a man is. I'm like, sure. Okay. Okay. We gonna just okay, cool. Y'all gonna be mad at me. I don't care. I just don't care. But
What?
I appreciate your time,
Hold
beautiful.
on a second. Hold on a second. Ellie said, Miss Sylvia, and a strong Christian. I'm surprised you aren't disgusted by his behavior. It's just not funny to me. Ma'am, being a Christian does not mean I'm dead. God made
All
man
right
and
now.
woman to have relations. That is not a wrong thing. To enjoy the company of a man, it's not wrong. To get to like the compliments. So it does not make me not a Christian. I'm still a Christian.
Nah,
Okay.
nah.
Good, good. Because you know what the Bible let me tell that lady something. The
What?
Bible says that you have to be equally yoked.
Let's not be
Okay,
jealous.
and yeah, we got to be on the same page. And if she want to call me Boaz, it's all right with me. Okay, I can be her Boaz. All right, I can like what I'm being very respectful in every way. And I like to see a lady smile. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
Nothing
wrong
wrong
with
with that at all, brother. I love
nothing
that too.
wrong with it
I
at all.
appreciate your time, Queen.
Thank you.
One, you got to come see me again, Doc. Come
I'm gonna
on,
pop
man.
out on you, Z. I'm gonna pop out on you, Z. I'm gonna come check you.
Yeah, come on down.
I
I'm
don't
gonna come
even
check you. You
see
know me and you,
outside
Baba.
anymore. I don't
Yeah,
see.
man, y'all all welcome.
I
I
will.
don't,
I
I
will.
was I was watching you. I was paying attention to your channel while you were doing the YSL commentary. I enjoyed that. Oh, I
okay.
was there every day.
Okay.
I stayed out of the way, but I was there every day. I appreciated it. I
That's
truly
dope.
did.
That's dope.
Oh Lord, we got a Bible thumper here. Allie, come on now.
Uh
Come on.
oh.
I'm not a
Uh
Bible thumper.
oh.
I'm not a Bible thumper. I believe two things what the Bible
Oh.
says. Love, love God first and love your neighbor. That's it. Everything else is all personal
All
issues.
right now.
That's
All
it.
right
Okay
now.
now. What's she gonna do if I come back up here and we didn't got married? Then she gonna be like, oh dang, that right? See, I'm looking for a wife. I got about a good 25 years left. I want to spend it with somebody. I don't want to play. Okay,
That's
all I gotta do is I gotta see if you can cook though. That's one.
all I
You ain't gotta have big butt.
can now. I can cook. There ain't nothing
Yeah,
but the fact.
that's where it's at for me. And you
Hey,
gotta have see another thing. I don't like wigs. I love natural, and that natural right there, yeah, that does it for me. You understand?
I'm natural
Okay,
everything.
she'll.
Take your
Look, natural
time.
That's
everything.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, tell her take her
Oh
time. Yeah,
yeah, I told
take
her to
her
take her time. I took my time. I took my
time.
time. That's a grown woman. That's a grown woman right there. Ain't nothing
That's
wrong with it. You better come on over and sit up with me one day and challenge me. I just be fussing at the children. I'll be fussing at the children. That's all.
I'll be back. I'll be over there.
Me too.
All right, Queen. I
All right.
appreciate all of your time,
You too.
everybody. JC, you have a good
Nice talking
afternoon,
to you,
everybody.
man.
All
You
right.
already
Peace.
be
All
out.
right,
You have a good
peace.
weekend.
Peace. Right on.
All right. Bye bye. All right. We have Tea Lounge. Woo
What is
woo.
up? Good
Hey,
morning,
Tea.
everybody.
What's going
Yo,
on,
T
T?
Lam.
Good
Yo, T
morning.
Lam.
Don't
T-Lo.
say it. Don't say
Yo,
it.
T, look, T. Remember when I was about to come over there on the spot and you looked at me like this? We just so much from New York. You looked at me like that.
But this is
I
the
was trying to
thing. I
come.
should have went over to where you was, because then that raggedy ass damn newscaster came around with her entitled ass and tried to push me aside. I couldn't get my shot the way I wanted. You see how karma worked? That shit went fast.
I came. She looked at me like this.
Damn, stop that cussing, T Lounge.
She
They
looked at me like
already,
this.
Sorry.
they already good me because a man came and give me a compliment. Now you gonna come up here cussing. Lord have mercy. They gonna say I don't have no Christian values.
You done lost all control, Miss Sylvia. You done lost all control.
That ZX is something else, boy.
He's a trip.
He stops by
Yes,
my
he's a
channel from time to time.
Yes, he's a trip. I know Jack B is. He's funny.
So you just waking up?
Yeah, I'm getting up. I'm getting ready to go get my coffee, and once I get up my coffee, I know my neighbors are going to be chit chatting and everything. So I'll probably stay out there and give them the update, because they love to hear the the stories.
So what's
Yeah, but I woke up and I still haven't I didn't do no commentary yesterday. I was
You didn't
tired.
jump on at all?
Nothing.
I did. I came on a little bit and just was talking, just just how interesting watching society in that courtroom is. You know what I mean? Just like watching how everybody moves. Just
Mm-hmm.
What was the thing where they were saying something about a Prince video was shown?
yes.
No,
I came. So after I did my live, right, I was just talking because I woke up. I'm like, yeah, let me give you a little update, and then I started scrolling. I seen that somebody say Prince was in the courtroom. They played an audio of Prince and Diddy fell out. Pat fainted. I said, "Oh my God!"
In the courtroom.
that's a lie. We know Prince video played.
That would be it. Look, I'm about to take the bar. That would be inadmissible under Rule 403. Okay.
Oh, not the 403. So they said that Puffy had fell out in court
After they played the Prince audio.
These people need to stop, bro. They talking about.
they need to stop. That man ain't going
fainted.
nowhere.
They said, look, this is the next one. They said the daughters was mad. They was stomping out the court. I'm like,
They
bro,
said they walked
I'm
out
here
crying.
every day, bro. When this happened, bro? They bugging. Diddy, he heard Cassie say something. Oh. I'm like, Diddy fainted. Yeah, bro. The story is getting grander and grander as we going on. Diddy be in there like this, looking at some papers, probably pass a little one note, send a little love to his family, show a little signal, da-da-da-da. He really with the lawyers looking like this, da-da-da. Evidence gets submitted. He like this with the evidence. He focused on what's going on. He really ain't busting no wild moves and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
He's stoic. Oh, he fainted, y'all. My God. I spit, oh God. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all stop lying, bro.
They had to restrain him. I said, what?
They just be making up all kinds of lies. Hey, they said Wendy Williams testified.
Wendy? Not when out the building that she in, that they holding her in? Come on, bro.
Adele testified too. That's what I heard.
Yo, these people is crazy, man. These people is crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
No,
They said Usher's in the building. Up there, they said Usher was in there. I said not Usher.
No, they even say what's the name? Jaguar Wright was inside the court.
Jaguar right in
outside
the
the
one
court.
day.
She
One
was
day.
outside the court, but she
Jaguar
ain't coming
was there
inside.
one day.
But that was one day, Sylvia. She was only there one day. And she interviewed me that day.
Yeah,
She
and
was
she was
there one day.
outside. And she was outside.
Outside. One day. Straight up. One day. So
I
they
see
like, oh, she
Gene.
came back.
Gene sister, he don't got much to say. He ain't writing down nothing there with his
Nope.
hat in his hand.
Chilling.
He be in the overflow. Gene be in the overflow.
He be in
The
overflow.
overflow folks.
And I think he stopped coming. I haven't seen
He
him in a
He had stopped
He came
coming.
the other day.
Yeah, he had some spat with Danae.
Yeah, with the knot. Yeah, he had a little kickoff with the knot. Because the knot been trolling him.
Oh, look, Uda be out there for all of that.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, Uda sees all that
Uda
stuff
be
in the
getting it all.
outside.
Uda get
I
all
be
the
like this.
video.
I be having the GoPro like that. Yo, what y'all said? Hold up, don't fight yet.
Right.
Say it now. So yeah, man. I don't
It
know
gets
why.
look, Uda, it gets to the point sometimes you be walking away. Uda be like, I can't. Right.
Some things I'd be like, because people got their own views. Then some people have personal issues with certain people. I get it. I've been on YouTube for years. I didn't have my spats. I didn't banged on a few people with 2 people, Hassan Campbell kind of people. So I get it. So, but I'm not here for that. I done did that. Like I said, I came from real streets and real war. So for me, I don't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? But when people go in certain ways, I'm like, all right, cool, let me get away from this because we ain't doing that. You know, everybody got beef on the YouTube streets, bro, and you don't be knowing. Next thing you know, you just talk to a person, they're like, oh, you with it? Because he seen me, he was like, no, you deal with some other people. Uda. I was like, what? Who I know it? Then some other.
Let me show y'all the video that has got it all started, y'all. Hold on. Let me show y'all the video that had everything with the deal thing started. Hold on.
When they was beefing, that's what's funny.
Yeah, hold on. This is the whole thing.
I think it's funny. Sorry.
This is it right here, y'all.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
You can't come up on me. Bro, listen, if you come up on me, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. That's what I say. That's what I say.
She's great.
No,
Here she
bro,
comes.
shit.
Here she
Okay, I'm
comes.
a bitch. You wanna misgender me now? Now it's fucking anti-Asian because I'm Asian. Now she's about to me. I am protected by anti-Asian hate
Go down the road
now
there.
you misgender
I'm not the type of
I
bro, listen.
Yeah, that's the most funniest thing ever, yo.
You're not gonna tell
Why
me
she always there when it go down?
She always there. She always there.
She's the moment, okay?
She always there. And now she's really there because they kicked her out the court now, so she's outside all the time. See what I'm saying?
She
They was
can't
supposed
come
to kick her
in.
out for the first day. They was trying to kick her out for the first day. She made 3 weeks, bro. You hear me? They was trying to kick her out since day 1 of overflow rooms. You hear me? Like, yo, you got to go. Cause soon
No, but that's my girl, y'all. That's my girl.
that's my homie.
I love her. She's
That's my homie, though.
grown
son.
on me.
That's my girl.
She has
Funny, man.
absolutely grown on me. Because the
She
first
did.
couple of weeks, I was like, oh my gosh. Now, oh my God. Yeah, because
I'm
she used
cool.
to be acting up in that overflow room, but she don't want me over. When
She
they
want me over too.
it's cool for her.
That's my MTA. I met her from day 1, y'all. Before trial started, her and I used to be in the room together.
MTA lady, let me tell you one thing.
She is funny as hell.
Uda, maybe you as well, right? But I guarantee you, when they do the Diddy Trial movie, MTA lady got a role.
Oh no, she's in there. No, she in there. I don't know about me, but she is in it to win it. Her second Jesus, you know the guy that was outside screaming, second Jesus. Second Jesus gonna make it. I don't know about Bracket Barbie.
I'm holding up the rock, talk about, this is all I need. This is all I need. David and Goliath up in here. Yes,
yeah, a couple of people making it. A couple of people gonna make it into the.
You gonna make it in there too. You gonna definitely go make it.
Oh no, wait, second Jesus.
I'll be out there crazy.
James. You talk about James, the homeless guy.
Which one? I'm talking about the guy that had his face covered and was screaming outside all day.
Oh
That
yeah,
one. You might get arrested all the time.
Treason the law. The guy that got arrested. Treason the law. Him.
Yes, him.
It's treason. He said, because this is treason. My name is treason the law. So,
Yes, I know who you're talking. He
bro.
knows this black.
He won me over. He mad cool now. He see me like, yo, Uda, what's up? Mad cool. So I be mad cool too. It's crazy, yo. Out there's like one big family, weird as it is, but it's just like, it's crazy. You out here with each other for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? People get close, man. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But
I love
it's been fun, y'all. And the thing is, outside has the most action than the inside.
Mm-hmm. And the overflow, I would imagine, except for the fact that y'all get to see the jury.
Yeah, it's crazy to see the difference between day 1 outside and like as of yesterday. All the different characters that have come out since day 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
And everybody trying to get fame off of it.
Some people going crazy. Some people got to troll, go viral. Bro, people's trying a lot of things out there. But you know what I mean? You don't really have to do all of that stuff. You could just do your content, chill, and you're getting views. Everybody's getting some views, bro. You ain't really got to do the most. Some people's really trying to be the troll of the trial. And when you look back at the thing, and when you really look back, you're not going to really like it, I don't think. When you look back at yourself being that person in this moment, out of all the people you could be, you're going to be like, bro.
Yep, it don't look good.
It's not going to look good. Trust me. It's not going to look good for some people. I be talking to them like, oh, come on, you be funny, joking, you screaming, you loud. I don't be telling you nothing. I'm like, you right, my bad, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm saying I be bugging. And nobody want to hear nothing.
The sounds I make in the doggone courtroom, I'm sitting there watching it like I'm watching YouTube. I be like, ooh, you know.
That's why you will not be able to be in the main courtroom because you be thrown out.
Courtroom except for the
They
fact
throwing you out.
see the jury. Now that I want to see the jury, I know how to act. I've been to church.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what to do. You know what to do.
She said she know how to act. She been in church.
You know, I know how to act. I've been to church. I've been to shows, you know, plays and stuff. I know how to act. But
Like she don't look, T, you done had that pinch before, that pinch and that turn when you acting up.
I already know better before I even get in there. Okay, you know, because I've had that pinch in my life, so I already know not to act a fool. You know.
Yeah, man. But she was the main one though. MTA though, because me and her been in from the first day in like the one court. I only went up in Diddy court like I think once. I went up there twice, and they kicked me out. Then one day, you get out of here. I had on a green suit. They kicked me out. You trying to sneak? I said what? I was walking in with Dollar Miles and somebody else. They said, not you. I said, that's crazy. Anyway, so I was down back in the overflow. So I was in there with her all the time. And she want to sit right in the front by the TV. She want to see all the work on the screen before it comes up. And she's screaming, oh my God. Yo, who to look? Remember, you trying to write things down. You can't. Every day I'm 420 outside. I can't even remember half the stuff. I'm there like this. Asking the news lady what they said. Bothering people, she's screaming.
And they be like, they be like,
everybody looking at her like this. The whole courtroom, white people, black people, old people, everybody like this. One old guy, excuse me, okay, enough's enough. All right. Yo, son, MTA, yo, son, that's my girl.
Wow, remember when? Was y'all there when that lady got up? She was at the front row, right? It was one of the one of the newscasters, and she got up to leave. I guess to make her little drop. When I tell you she ran so fast, you could feel the ground move to get to that seat, and she tried to knock somebody down. That's when they kicked her out of the other room and they sent her back to the other room. And she said,
MTA told them one day she had came and sat down. She was in the front row right by the TV, and she went to go use the bathroom. And I said to her, I said, you want me to hold your seat? She said, no, you ain't got to worry about holding my seat. She said, these people know I've been here. I wish they might sit in my chair. I said, oh, okay then, MTA. Look here.
Dug out. You hear me?
She said, they will not take this seat here.
Every day she gets into kick off with the card because look, you know, in Diddy court, they say all rise. I keep trying to tell people they say all rise. But in the overflow room, they tell you all sit. They want us to sit down. Every time we're in the overflow room and they say all rise in Diddy's court on the TV, she rises. And every time the court reporter, the court officer got to tell her, sit down. I've been doing this since the beginning and that's how I'm doing it. Word, bro. Like, yo.
I love her.
She's turned up.
Yeah, she's the best.
She's turned. Yeah, it's funny as hell. She's turned.
She is a riot.
Yeah, she's funny.
So tell them what you thought of it yesterday, T.
Oh my God. Well, I'll tell you what I got to start with how I felt the day before yesterday. I was like, is she lying? In my mind, I was like, is she lying? So it was all going to hinge on how she handled the cross, right? So they finished the direct. The last question before the direct, because the whole time I'm like, is she lying or malingering is what we call it in psych terms, right? I said, she malingering. So then the last question they asked her, they said, you know, are you not working? She said, no, I'm not able to work. I take normal things and I just overreact to them. You know, the slightest little thing. If somebody says, where are you? You know, I'm in a full panic mode and all this other stuff, right? That was the last thing. I told the guy from Hot 97, I said, if she straightens up when she gets crossed and she doesn't do all of those long pauses and the like, and you know, like, if she doesn't do all of that, she's malingering. And just like I thought, she straightened up. She was answering the questions. You know, she got it confused a little bit, you know, sometimes, but I think she was playing stupid. But all of that weird stuff she was doing yesterday, nope, none of it. None of it. Because even when you read the transcript, you can't see how people are acting. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Cassie standing there with a rosary. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that stuff. That doesn't get reported. All you hear is what she's saying. Man, you ought to see how this girl was acting. I was like, something is wrong. This is not.
So coming from a therapy, psychological or industry, I mean, field, what what do you think? Do you think she'd have mental
She might
illness?
have, I mean, I think she might have PTSD, but so does Diddy for that matter.
Okay.
You know? I think there's something there, but malingering is when you exaggerate. And mind you, I'm not a psychologist. I am in the social services field, right? So, and I've heard stories. Nobody tells them like this girl. I'm like, what is going on? So, malingering is when you exaggerate symptoms. So, like, let's say, somebody might be diagnosed with schizoaffective. That's like bipolar plus schizophrenia, right? And they go to trial. Some people don't want to, like, if you're not fit for trial, you don't have to go on trial. So people malinger to avoid court and stuff, or they malinger on the stand to, to like maybe take a insanity plea, plead insanity. So people malinger for different reasons. People malinger to get Social Security and SSD. People malinger for all sorts of reasons. People malinger at work. Oh, I'm sick. And it's like, I gotta go home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's malingering, right?
Well, think about the text messages. Now that you say that, T, think about the text messages that she sent to D-Rock and the text message she was sending to, I'm not sure if it was KK when they were in Africa. And she was kind of coming up with excuses why she couldn't answer the phone and what she was doing. And she hasn't had any sleep and she hasn't done. She kind of outright lied about different things that she was going through in order to avoid certain people.
Right.
But she did it often, all the time. Even with her social media posts, she was going on there saying all these positive things about Puff, but then getting on the stand saying she didn't mean any of them. So that to me shows exactly what you're saying, that she has no problem with over exaggerating or adding or taking away from things in order for her to have someone look at her in a different way.
So, so yeah, so yes, I am just so, like, she was talking like, oh yes, I am just so, I've been through so much, like it was just like overacting of whatever symptoms somebody would have with PTSD. We've been around people with PTSD, our family members who came back from Vietnam, our family members who came back from all sorts of wars, our veterans, young people who have been in the streets, our uncles and cousins and nephews who stopped hanging out in the street or whatever, and they'll tell you stories of people that they've lost and the traumatic, different violent ways people were lost. There's a lot of people in the hood who have PTSD just from living in the hood. It's not normal to hear gunfire at 2 a.m. That's not normal. That's something that happens in a war-torn country. You understand what I mean? So people can experience PTSD, yes. But there's a lot of people, when I've heard stories, and I've heard some wild stories from my clients, and when they tell them, I've never quite heard them told like what I've seen on the stand. Let's just say that. And I've had people with some real traumatic experiences, and there's something genuine. And then there's sometimes when I be sitting there listening to some of these wild stories, I'm like, you lying, it just is what it is. Like, I think it's all the glitz and the glam, all the glitz and the glamour. When you hear this Diddy tale, right, and the harrowing stories, I think that, because it's happening in Turks and Caicos, and because it's happening from city to city, and because they're going to movie premieres and things that are taking place in these ritzy hotels and mansions, you are going, oh my gosh, how crazy is that? But then let's just take away the mansions and the movie premieres and the Vegas and the Turks and Caicos, and let's bring it to a project apartment near you. or some sort of crack house and place all these junkie stunts in there, nobody would be batting an eye.
Then it becomes very normal, doesn't
it? It becomes very normal.
It's very normal.
And not
and then people start to hold you on why you're in that crack house. And then they don't just say, oh, she's a victim. Oh, that's how she got there. They start saying, okay, that person that's sitting in that crack house is responsible for being in that crack house, right?
Yeah.
Then it makes a difference on if you're in the ghetto and you're somewhere doing something that you ain't have no business doing. They're not looking at the reasons why you're doing them. Then you're responsible for doing those things, right? Yeah. So that's the weird thing about this case, that they're taking the responsibility out of certain things just because it's a female or they found themselves in that situation.
And the beauty and all of the, and all of the beauty, not just Cassie being beautiful, not just this Mia lady, not just because they look good, but just the beauty of being able to have a driver's license and a black card, and that's it in your wallet. You know what I mean? Just the ease of living. And you say to yourself, oh my gosh, if I had the world, would I be doing all these junkie stunts? Well, when you have a substance use disorder and you couple that with these mental health issues that I'm seeing, or you're going to have a whole crap show. And that's what's happening.
It don't make a difference on how much money you got in your account at that point.
When your auntie was out there doing things and doing something strange for change, that's where the phrase comes from. When your auntie was doing something change for strange, she needs to get herself together. I don't know what's wrong with her. I have clients who tell me stories of things that they've done while they were using, as far as what they enjoyed sexually while they were using. And I would be sitting there, you have to keep a stoic face, no judgment. Like, so that's why I don't have any judgment when I hear, oh, somebody was urinated on. I'm surprised I haven't heard defecate. That somebody ran a red light or whatever. It's like, okay, it absolutely happens when somebody's in the throes of addiction, and it's just real. it's just what it is. So now people got to do life in jail. Okay. Show me the connection. By now, you should be able to paint a panoramic view of what happened. This money was wired on this day, 3 days before this FO. This FO took place on this date. Okay? So money was wired from here to here on this date, right? 3 days before this date. Okay? Then you have, and if you're painting the view, then it's like, okay, he handed you the money that he got wired or whatever, on this date. You entered the hotel at this time. Y'all entered the hotel together. You entered the hotel 2 days, two hours apart. This escort came 3 hours later. This escort left 3 days later. We have yet to hear a timeline like this entire court case.
I think that's where they're trying to go next week. The government is actually trying to put that timeline together when it comes to the trafficking next week. When it comes to the PowerPoint, they're trying to have admitted. When it comes to the credit cards, the plane tickets, the hotel stays, who actually went, and the escorts, they're trying to line that up together, I think, next week.
What should have happened is they should have did that when people's memories were fresh. That should have been one of the first things that they did, was lay that out and then start bringing people on to fill in those actual blanks.
Yeah. And before the jury have a time to become biased, because once you start listening to all these different witnesses and you believe one, don't believe the other one, feel like one is exaggerating, one is embellishing, they start having different biases their own self. And then next thing you know, once the hardcore evidence come, they're going to start to question, can I even believe that? I agree with you when it comes to that, T. They definitely should have probably started with that.
But I will say this: you don't have to say no.
Okay.
You don't have to necessarily say no. Then I forgot, there's ways to say no without actually verbally saying no. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
do you think most people know that though? Do you think the
That's
jurors
this is the other thing that's very true about all of this, is that ignorance of the law is not a defense. So
But look, if somebody has regrets after doing something, that's not a no.
now that's not a no.
Mhm.
Exactly. And that's where I'm at with it. I think that she regrets saying yes in whatever way she said yes. I think, and then if we're gonna go into this, is where what I don't understand. First off, she used prior to meeting him, right? Cassie, she had used drugs prior to meeting him. She's talking about one time it was in a drink, but she didn't know it or whatever. Okay, well, if we go with that, cool. But you still used marijuana, right? So you are not opposed to using, right? If you used before and you're using on your free time and you are admitting to being a you're admitting to being a substance, like you're admitted to your substance use disorder. Your drug of choice was opioids, right? That wasn't even his drug of choice, right? He might have had it in high supply for you. So the problem is Diddy's high too. What are we talking about? They're both high. So where does consent come in at? And the same people who want to sit and say, oh, she could not consent. She was under the influence. Under the influence could be alcohol. Under the influence can be drugs. We all know that, right? You mean to tell me all these people across the world who have a little drink before they get with their, significant other, maybe even smoke a L or something like that, nobody's having consensual sex? Are we being serious or for real right now? You think two crackheads aren't having consensual sex because it's crack? but you're having consensual sex because you're smoking weed and
What I said about weed? What's going on, bro?
Oh Lord, him and that.
What happened? I just came from teaching Chong House just now. What happened?
But you understand what I'm
You
saying, though, right?
get away from me with all that, Buddha. If you
So me
don't
is that what their break was for?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it's like for. Come on now, you know him.
You
At
know
least
that's my break.
at
I
least
gotta
he's
take my
respectful.
medicine.
He's respectful.
I gotta take my little, you know what I mean? My little medicine
right.
break.
You got to take your medicine break, and he had a medicine bag too, because he
I
had.
was just thinking about the medicine bag, and I was about to say that wasn't the break I was taking. I swear I was just about to say that.
But it actually, but the truth of the matter is, when I was getting my case act, that's to become a credentialed substance abuse counselor, right?
Mhm.
When I was getting that, they put it all in one boat. Using it, there was debate on whether weed was considered a drug, yes or whatever, but it's all substance use. Whether the substance is alcohol, whether the substance is weed, whether the substance is coffee,
Mhm.
whatever the
Yeah,
substance that you are using,
Or even food.
all that too.
right?
Hey
But food,
guys, I'm gonna have to drop down. So I just kind of wanted I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm just wanted to say thank you, Miss Sylvia, for inviting me up. It's
You're
nice
welcome.
talking to you, Uda and
Bless you,
T.
JC. You
And I'll
too.
see you guys probably Monday,
All
and
right.
I'll talk to you soon, Miss Sylvia.
Okay,
Mhm.
hon.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
enjoy your
inviting me. I
weekend.
appreciate it.
Enjoy your
See you guys.
weekend.
You guys have a good weekend.
all right,
You
you
All
too.
too.
right.
All right, bye guys.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Now, what did you saying, T? Go
It's
ahead.
all substances, right? And we're supposed to be in a place where this is why it's very important to decriminalize drug use, because stuff like this happens. It's this hierarchy on what people are using. And the fact of the matter, that's why they changed the word from that. They changed the words from addict and to use disorder. They did that on purpose because You can't be judgmental, get all judgy when it comes to what people are using, what substance people are using. I don't care if it's paint. People use paint. What's it called? Computer. The duster from the computer. I just found this out yesterday. The spray that people use to dust their computer and get the crumbs out the keys. People huff it and get high.
What?
When they were telling us to look things to look for, people who are alcoholics, like, well, if they're functioning alcoholics, they will put it on a tampon. They will put alcohol, soak it up in a tampon and insert it in places.
What?
That's wild.
What?
Because it goes into the bloodstream and all that stuff. And a man, right, and it doesn't now sometimes I guess alcohol will come through your pores and stuff like that, or it's on your breath. So they're physically addicted, like their bodies physically need this alcohol. You need to, in order to come off of alcohol, you should be in a hospital, right along with heroin. You understand? So these people are in the throes of addiction. There's no empathy for this man, though, and his mental health disorder and his substance use. But I don't got time for it. So now that
I think it's because of him having money, people feel that they don't have issues. But they don't understand. They're the one who have the most issues because they got money. Because they don't even try to fix their issues,
Yeah.
So now that you know that you have if you look at the situation as two people with mental health issues, self-medicating with whatever substances they're self-medicating with, right? And it's played out in all of these different ways, right? Who is the perpetrator? Now we can say who's the perpetrator of the violent acts.
Him. Allegedly.
You understand? But all of this other stuff, I know women who date the weed man. The weed man, they don't have to pay for weed. And they would be mad if they asked. This dude makes sure that everybody's straight and has some hospitality. Now he got to go to jail. I don't know. Who brought the heroin into the crack house? That, you understand what I'm saying? What are we arguing about here? Nobody can prove nothing. There's no way. Try to get a timeline on the criminal activities at a crack house, and let's see how that fares. And who perpetrated what? You would never be able to, because they're in the throes of addiction. He's lucky he had the money to have an accountant to pay his rent. Otherwise, we would be hearing a whole nother tale.
Did he go to rehab? I mean, right now he's detoxing while in jail from the stuff that he's been doing. Allegedly.
Yes, a Virgo. Yes, you have to. Alcohol is the hardest detox. They go through like hallucinations and all of this type of stuff. They need to be like severe alcoholism needs to take place in the hospital, or that cold turkey with you can die. So these people had all kind. It's just a tale of two. Let's just put it like it is: a tale of two addicts, crackheads, whatever you want to call them. However you identify them, make it sense. With means and access, having a very toxic relationship that was extremely violent. He was a horrible boss. And I'm not saying he's not guilty. He's innocent of any of the stuff that he did. What I'm saying is the evidence they have against him is not adding up to what he's being charged with. And the crazy part about it is he could go away for just as long with some of the things that he did actually do. You know what I mean? Because yes, it's illegal to have a prostitute, but how did this get on the federal level? You know how? Because you were trying to have us to believe that Cassie was the prostitute that was traded. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're saying. That's what it's supposed to be. And have we had evidence of Warren Beatty and Prince and whoever else buying Cassie? Oh yeah, now we're talking something else. But no, y'all paying people for threesomes. Okay, then what's up with T.I. and Tiny?
Remember, they were trying to get them too at one point.
They were, but they were trying to get them. Operative word. Nobody was going, poor Tiny. Look at what T.I.'s making her do. Nobody did that. Nobody did that. They just looked at Tiny. They looked at Tiny and her African features and said, you was with it. That's what happened. But poor Cassie.
Lisa said it appears Cassie is clean enough to have kids with no effects yet. Well, we don't know what the kids have. We don't know. We haven't seen the kids.
What happened was two people who were into X, drugs, and rock and roll got together and was doing too much. And now now the world is aware.
Pretty Chick says, who was led to believe Cassie was a prostitute? I don't think anyone thought that.
And that's the problem. Nobody truly thinks that, but that's what he is being charged with. Am I misspeaking, Sylvia?
No.
And that's what I think people are not understanding about this case and why we keep saying hell to the no. You know what I'm saying? Because in order for him to be convicted, you have to now believe that Cassie
was a prostitute.
Yeah, Cassie, you would have to believe that, just to put it into simple words, Cassie was a prostitute via coercion. Gina was a prostitute via coercion, and somebody else was a prostitute via coercion. That is what he is on trial for.
Forced labor too. Remember forced labor?
Yeah, forced labor. Everybody wanted to keep their job and have that fast, luxurious life. And just like me, I would come home. I worked on salary. I would come home. The 8 hours that I was there, I couldn't get everything done. So without anybody asking me, right, or telling me to, right, I would do reports. I would work even longer than the 8 hours. Nobody asked me to do nothing at my job. I just knew I needed to get all of this stuff done. And because the way the day went, I had to maybe go do a wellness check, or I had to do this or that or whatever. I didn't get that part of it done. So I stayed up and I did more work. Nobody asked me, nobody forced me. But in order for me to get do my job well and get the promotion that I got, that's what I did. Then on top of that, I was on call 24/7. When the building caught on fire, I had to come up out of my house and go to the building. Not the middle of the night, but late at night. Stuff like that. And that's what I signed up for. Nobody forced me to do anything. That was me wanting to do a good job. Now, that situation on the plane, if we were to believe her, that is, I guess, considered forced labor. Remember when she had the situation with the
Yeah.
psych?
Yeah, with the assistant, what the assistant said. Yeah.
Yeah, what the sister said with her cycle, that would be now
Yeah.
that particular situation. But like I was saying, up until that point, I hadn't heard certain things. Certain things I was just like, whatever. Especially that chaplain guy. The chaplain guy was trying to make it very clear. Yes, he had immunity, so he could have just said whatever it was. He said, no, I wanted to. He really put the onus on himself. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
He took responsibility and accountability for himself. It wasn't that I had a gun to my head or, and as far as the threatening of the job, he felt like the way he put it, it wasn't like, and then you're dealing with somebody with a mental health issue.
Yep. You could tell he had personality disorder.
He got two. He got a personality disorder, but he also, they said his counsel said bipolar, and the state didn't object. So now that's on record that Diddy has bipolar disorder.
Oh wow.
So if Diddy has bipolar disorder, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got a family member who has bipolar disorder. You know where she'll tell you she graduated from? Cambridge. And I'll be sitting there like, girl, okay. And she'll tell you that she was a model and her picture was in Essence.
Wow.
When she's manic.
Mm-mm-mm.
Pointed to a magazine, was like, that's me. I said, word? Okay. I can laugh at it now, but at that day, oh my God, the stress. I was like, what? That's me. I said, that looks like you. It did look like her, but that was not her. You know what I'm saying?
But in her mind, it's her.
But in her mind, it's her. You know what I'm saying? And she is the mood swings, like it's crazy, you know. So I don't know. How does that come into play when it comes to the legal system?
But it's on record. Whew, I'm cold. Lovely lady said they both was in it together.
Me stating the facts doesn't excuse his behavior. The same way me stating the facts about Cassie doesn't excuse her behavior. That's all I'm getting at. I'm trying to say, where's the coercion when they both was with it? His co-conspiracy. I want to know if she has immunity.
Who, Cassidy?
Yeah, I want to know.
I was told that she did.
She has to, because
I was told she did. She had to testify. She had no choice.
You know.
All charges would have been charges would have been put on her as well.
Mm-hmm.
She got it.
And people be into stuff. Let me just say that part too. Don't think that just because she looks like she's not into it don't mean that she's not with it. People are with some stuff, okay? It's a $1 trillion business. The stuff that they do, you know? And he want to make things look like a music video. Okay, well, what are we talking about here? Are we policing people's bedrooms now? For real? That's what's happening?
Is a psychiatrist in line up for either side? Well, they had one for the victim side, which is Dawn Hughes, right? That was her name, right? Dawn Hughes. No, it's Hughes is her last name.
Dawn Hughes. They ate the way they packed that lady up. I was like, wow. Because in my mind, you know, as someone who like studied it and everything, you know, and I'm not a psychiatrist. I didn't go further in my education other than my bachelor's, right? So I'm into it though. So I'm like, okay, I want to hear from this lady. I need to, you know, hear what she got to say. You know what I mean? She really turned it for me. By the time the defense got to her, and then she left out of there as a money grubbing man hater who was working with the prosecution on the low. I said, oh, never mind. Mm-mm. His defense team ain't playing no games.
Yeah.
None of them. None of them. They didn't have a woman cross that lady because they was like, okay, let's see how crazy are you. Are you really unable to work under pressure? Oh, seems like you know how to straighten up and fly right. Okay. So where's all this crazy? So yeah, she must have immunity. She must. And speaking of addictions, I need to go get my doggone coffee.
Oh Lord. All right, everybody. Everybody, thank you so much, T, for coming up and giving me your points of view in this. This panel was a great panel. I'm glad for everyone that has come up. I appreciate you guys. T, I'm about to take me an old person nap. That's my addiction.
Good. And you had a long week. So enjoy, and I'll come back and I'll watch the beginning because when I came in, I came up. So I'll go back and watch the beginning.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get do our transcript reading today, y'all. I plan on doing it. But I need a nap. We'll talk to you.
Around.
Text me. Text
Okay.
me. All right.
All right. Later. I'm
Later.
gonna email you so I can give you my number.
Text me now.
Okay. All right.
Later. Okay. All right, my good people. Shout out to T. Shout out to Uda. Shout out to JC. Shout out to ZX. Shout out to Renee. Shout out to Lovely Lady. Thank you, everybody who came up to give us your viewpoints and everything. Remember, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a voice. Y'all, try not to shun nobody else's voice, because just because your opinion is different from somebody else does not make you right and them wrong, or them right or make you wrong. It's just based on your experience. Your experience is what makes you who you are and unique as you are. Everybody that is dealing with these things are dealing it from their own personal experience, okay? And you cannot say if a person is victim shaming if they never experienced that victim mentality and stuff like that. They're just giving you their point of view. So why is it okay for you guys to say somebody's victim shaming when that person has an experience? That's when you teach them how a victim is doing and what's going on in that victim's life and stuff like that. You cannot always be right saying it's just victim shame. It's not. They're just giving you their perception. And the others is the vice versa. You can't go and just tell that victim should feel this way or don't feel this way, because they're dealing it from their personal experiences. This is the great thing about God. God gave us all what? What do you got? Free will, right? Free will. We all get to think the way we want to think, get to experience things and express our experiences from our own view. Some people can say things the right way, and some people can't. Some people can spell right and they can't. Some people can't. Some people can do numbers. Some people can't. So we all live on this earth. We all have different experiences. Let every individual have their own personal experiences, right? Now, here's the point. We got to respect each other. Don't dog a person out because they think differently from you. Don't come in my panel, come and just saying I'm a fool and all that. Don't do that, because that's disrespectful. I will let you speak on my panel and say what you want to say, but respect me. Don't come at me, because you just gonna let the bear come out, okay? You're just gonna let the nasty side of Sylvia come out. So let's respect one another, love one another, and learn from one another, okay? Learn from one another. Because I'm not going to take it. I'm serious. I'm 58 years old. Don't come at me. Don't come and tell me what I should act and how I should be as a Christian. You don't know my personal experience. So don't try to put your thing on me, okay? Right, and that's laid for anybody who try to say, Sylvia, you shouldn't do this. Shouldn't put your boobs out on the internet. I do what I want to do. I'm me. Okay? I'm me. As long as I don't violate your stuff, let me be me. And you be you. You respect me and I respect you. Okay? Got it? We are all adults in here. At least I think we are over 18. Right? Support this channel. Support the work that I do. It ain't easy and it's not cheap and it's not free. So if you find it willing in your heart to open up your pocketbook and be a blessing to me as I travel this journey called trial vlogging, as I travel along this journey, which I believe is something that God has given to me, and my journey is totally different from anybody else's. I do things different. I am different. My style may not be the style that you like. That's why there's billions of channels on YouTube. I'm not the only one. And if I don't tickle your fancy, you just move along. Keep going. I'll be fine because there's a billion more other people who come my way. All right? So just be respectful. Don't put the nonsense on my platform. Don't come in there and say stuff because if I don't like what you're saying, if it doesn't feel good to me, I'm going to delete it. Listen to me. And you get mad all you want and ask me, why you keep deleting my, because it doesn't feel good. And I'm going to protect my peace and I'm going to protect me. And if it means for me to remove every time you put some nonsense on it, I'm going to remove it. And you could say, oh, I have freedom of speech. Yeah, you have freedom of speech, but not on my panel, not on my chat. I have a freedom of deleting if it doesn't feel good. And that's my protection. And I will continue to protect myself. It is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. And let me tell you something. You don't have to like me, but I have to love you. So with the love of Christ, I love you regardless. And just move on. Go someplace else. Okay? So keep the crap out of my chat. All right? I'm just giving those people who gets mad because every time I come by and I see something that don't feel good to me, I delete it. They go, why she keep deleting my stuff? Why she keep doing? Because you keep putting it on there. And if I don't like it, I'm going to delete it. It's my prerogative. It's my channel. Okay? All right? But I love you. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another. You guys have a blessed and awesome day and continue to be great. Bye.
Thank you for watching the infamous Sylvia channel, where laughter and fun make up our panel. Together we build this digital spree. We appreciate you and our growing family. With mods by our side and chat flowing free in this online space. It's just you and me, we laugh until tears roll down like the rain. In this virtual world, you ease all my pains. We're family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We cherish the moments, the highs and lows, from the latest gossip to stories untold. You're more than a viewer, you're part of the crew in this space of ours. It's all because of you. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign and joys we'll both gain. not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mars in check, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mars in check, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign and joy is what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mars and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night.